What is going on, folks? Monday afternoon, and you know what? I just felt like doing a video. So I'm here and we're going to go through some boxes. I need to get, I'm working on establishing a schedule. So if I'm going to do a video a week, minimum, what does that schedule look like? So I'm still kind of trying to work that out. It's a little tough with my job because it can kind of be all over the place, but I'm going to try to get back to doing this on a regular basis. I was being pretty consistent, but being in real estate, my work, the time is kind of there. There is a peak season or a time when more people sell homes than others. So I'm kind of trying to navigate that, figure it out. Hang on one second. I meant to hardwire into. All right. I always hardwire into my router whenever I do this, just to have like a more seamless stream, I think. Yo, what's up, man? I'm missing the heck out of hanging out with you, brother. Had a good time. Had a good time. That's the bad thing about having a good time with your your homies and stuff. It's like, all right, we gotta when's the next time? So yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. Hope you're having a good week. Um you've been posting some funny little clips recently, so that's you've been doing good. What's going on, Naman? I hope you're doing well. Um, you've been busy too, man. You've been posting tons of content and stuff lately. I saw your shout out thing. I've got to do one of those for Brian's 700th. How about 700 subs for Brian LCS? And that dude does a ton for the community. And yeah, man, we're gonna have a blast. The bar's been set high, man. We had a good time. The bar has been set high for sure. Yeah, I think I comment on that one when they're like the two guys are going back and forth and they're like, oh, I hope you have a blessed year and all this stuff back and forth. And oh, we should go out for drinks. And I commented that that's kind of like you. Let's go 2, 4, 7, 10. It was like that was kind of like our that was our Friday night for sure. What's going on, Ty Locks? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. You've been busy this weekend too, man. You were on a lot of stuff. I enjoyed the one yesterday with your guy. He was pretty knowledgeable and looked like super into doing it, which was cool. Digger Jim, what's up, brother? Good job on the villain showcase. So Pocan Joe tagged me in that, and I tagged you guys, and Brian LCS is the other one, and he said he is working on his, so he's going to have great. He's going to have his this week. So that was a lot of fun, man. It's a lot to sift through, and if you you could throw something together really quickly on that villains challenge. But if you put some thought into it, it's it's a lot of fun. And Jim, you did a good job with the obscurity of your villains. I tried to put a lot, I did have several Daredevil villains in that one. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I think it's the most important thing ahead of signatures and comics. I mean, I think that's the real. I think that's where you really get a deeper level, because I mean we are all friends on a very surface level. I mean, we see each other and it feels like we're interacting, but we're just supporting each other watching videos, man, until you get there and you're like, I'm walking around with this dude that I watch on YouTube, you know? It's almost like surreal, but it's just fun, man. And it really is like there's a lot of BS in the community. You can get drug into some um, some stuff, but overall, like people are good, like-minded people that enjoy the same things as you. And it it definitely, I had high expectations and it exceeded my expectations. You know, like I saw Digger Jim and Brother John when I was walking up to get in line, and they were like, "Hey, is that Brad?" And we started talking, and they let me hang out with them, and we work, kind of worked our way through some lines. And so it's just good to be with like-minded people and do this hobby. And Marcus has talked about this. Big Lion Cat, what's up, buddy? You talk about this dude. I've been joking with him a good bit about how popular he was, but he had people walking up to him. So the man is legit, and it was awesome hanging out with him. And we'll try and get him to hang out with us a little bit more next time, because I think me and Marcus were like the event planners of the uh, con. So yes, you did, man. It was cool. It was really neat. You had a lot of stuff, man. And I think you mentioned that a lot of the things that you were looking at were like, um, it was like stuff that you bought off the rack. There were you had some old books that you've had for a while, so that was cool. Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. Big Line Cat, you dropped a video just a little while ago, man. I got to go back and check that out. Um, you had some books that Erod. I'm really excited. In fact, after I get done with this, I'm going to watch it, because you had some books that Erod pressed for you, and I've got like 12 books with Erod right now. So yeah, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back and watch that one. I saw you dropped it just a little while ago. So that, I mean, I was Marcus is the consummate. He's the perfect wingman. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. This isn't incriminating at all. And the way that Marcus is the best wingman is that he hypes up like, I felt like I could conquer the world after he gave me like this massive pep talk. So I mean, when you got somebody in your corner, like I felt like, Rocky taking on the Russian, and I had my corner was just like, making me feel like I can do this. I've got this. So he was, a good wingman is gonna, is gonna hype you up and make you feel confident to the point where you can perform adequately. So that's cool, man. That's cool. I'm going to check that out. Yeah, Naman, you could meet quite a few people in Baltimore, man. Shop for Comics, what's up, buddy? We got to see Shop's face the other day. Usually get to just see his hands and his awesome collection, but good too. What was that? I've watched so many videos in the last week trying to catch up. What was that on? But it was awesome to see you. Remind me what that was on. Okay, well, hey, uh, there's quite a bit to you guys will have a good time, man. It is going to be a blast. There's quite a few of the folks that were in Charlotte will be up there, so that's awesome. Yeah, Bum, 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 or the Eye of the Tiger, or I had the Eye of the Tiger that night, man. It was great. It's I mean, not much to report other than I got a number and we went out to eat sushi about a week ago. So yeah, okay. All right. Okay, cool. What's your next one, BLC? What's your next oh, you've got several up in New York, I believe. That you said you're getting ready to go to. Yeah, that's right. Okay, that was guys, y'all keep talking, man. It's awesome to hang out. I'm going to try to figure out like I'm going to do this get back to doing this on a regular basis. I actually need to be more cuz that's the it's funny to talk about the stacks, but these are all full. So I'm going to tackle this little stack here and keep this to a very manageable. I think it was 15 boxes. So let's jump in and see what we got. Terrificon, okay. That would be cool. Awesome. That's cool, man. Hey, let us know how it compares to Charlotte, because everybody seems to say that like a lot of people who've been to a bunch. Charlotte's the biggest one I've ever been to, other than like local stuff. So I'm real curious how everybody was saying that Charlotte's a true comic book convention, and so I'd be real curious to see how these two, if anything's changed with the ones that you're going to, how close is Baltimore for the folks going to Baltimore? It's but I would say, I mean, I might be crazy for saying this, but I would take more hangout time over, even if it meant missing out on some books I was looking for, because it's just that critical. But that's the way, like, once I got into this, I was never going to do it halfway. I mean, I'm in a couple of other hobbies and have a couple of other groups that are kind of similar, where they're all spread out all over I've got a cigar group I'm in. They're all over the country. So if I'm in a city, I can hit somebody up and say, hey man, you want to hang out and have a cigar? And so I'm accustomed to that. So that's the way I was always going to do comics. Once I got into it, I was always going to be like meeting people in person. And I understand, like, so that's some people aren't comfortable doing that, or maybe that's not their thing, or maybe it's more about the books. But I would challenge you, if you're that type of person, just give it a try and see, because you'll find that Marcus has said this a number of times, but like doing the hobby with like-minded people, it's tough to beat. That's tough to beat. So yeah, let's see. Let me catch up on the chat before. Yeah, that would be cool. I know, man. We're hanging out. It's an unboxing that always turns into a hangout, man. And I don't hate that, I don't hate that part of it, Jim. I'm just enjoying hanging out with my homies. Road trip. Let's get a magic bus and travel around the country to cons. Tylox. Hey, the first time I met Tylox, man, we hopped in a car and drove up to Charlotte and went digging. I mean, I knew him for about 2 minutes in person before we hopped in a car together and drove an hour and a half away. I mean, that's how crazy we are. So, all right, let's jump in this stuff. I've given up on trying to keep this stuff in any kind of order whatsoever. In fact, the whole reason I'm doing the video is this showed up on my doorstep today, and I was like, I've got to, I'm due. I did my villain video, but I'm like, let's get into these boxes, because there's more stuff coming. I mean, I've got orders being shipped from the far reaches of the world. I've got, orders from things from another world that are showing up. And Marcus, I know you shop from that place a good bit. It is nice to not paying up front and not paying until your stuff ships that's a nice little benefit. You don't pay until your stuff ships, but you get to reserve it. So the one I was using was, or I have been, I'm using in conjunction with things from another world. You have to go ahead and pay. So, all right, hold on. This isn't, all right, this is from, okay. I got this from Golden Apple Comics. Yeah, so they've had this for a while. I ordered these a while back. This I just thought would probably heat up a bit, so I picked up a few of these. Strange Academy number 18, and this is the variant. I picked up 4 of those, and I found another one. I picked up. So I will have 5. I don't have 5 yet, but I will have 5. But Howie on the cover. Isn't it Howie? And his first appearance was last issue. So issue 16, I think. Then they skipped an issue. So yeah. So this was Golden Apple Comics. Picked up a few of those. And then I was like, hey, let's this is kind of cool. Let's tack this on. This is Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, number 6, second print, and it's the first appearance of Spider-Bite. So now, interestingly enough, Nolan Woodard, who was at the con, Juan Cabal, and Tom Taylor was the writer on this. How about that, man? How about that? I've noticed his name popping up on a lot of stuff. Like I'm looking at, he did like, what was I looking at? Tom Taylor wrote the all new Wolverine with X-23. He wrote that series like pretty sure from start to finish. So that's kind of neat. Tom Taylor, first appearance of Spider-Bite. So, we're getting into all these spider characters in the multiverse and stuff, so pick that up. But yeah, I thought the Howie thing, I mean, those are, I don't know, we'll see where that leads. I think they are elevated. I paid above cover price for these, but I think it's got some potential to maybe jump up a little bit. And there's worse things than buying spider characters right now, honestly. Yeah, we did have a good time. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that is. Yeah, they're doing a good job. I set mine to. Well, I don't need stuff to arrive quickly, as you can see. So I've set mine to like once a month to try to kind of save on shipping and stuff. Yeah, check check on that. I think it came out last Wednesday, Jim. Oh, wow, that's good. Well, I think I paid 8 for mine. And I was like, God, that's like double cover price. They're either $3.99, $4.99, I guess. Not quite double then. No, $3.99. Yeah, they're $3.99. So I figured that was going to be a popular book. And that's where doing FOC helps you with your spec stuff, man. You put in the time to like realize that book is coming out, and you'll have some success with picking up copies of stuff. Tylot's going to blame me for that thing being priced $35 now because I'm a speculator. That's funny. What's going on, Adrian? How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. I appreciate you swinging by. Yeah, no. What's up, Six Face? How you doing, man? Appreciate you coming by, hanging out with us. I know $35. I need to double check. I'm gonna go check some pricing. I think you can get them for cheaper than that on eBay right now. There's still a few out there. Yeah, no kidding, man. Yeah, that's those are neat. Yeah. What is going on, brother John? Man, your ears must have been burning. We've been talking about you, talking about our good time, and I appreciate you and Jim taking me under your wing and letting me hang out with you, so I wouldn't have to stand in line by myself right on day one. Just I know, man. I'm running, just driving them prices up, Ty Locks. Good chat, man. Got 8 folks hanging out, man. I'm super excited about that. You know, for the number of subscribers I have a pretty good amount of people who actually watch. So I'm like, hey, I'm cool with that, you know? I'm digging that. All right. This, you're just going to have to bear with me. I have no idea. I think these are newer. I think I just gave up on, I got tired of reshuffling all these. So I think this one might be like a newer order. Yo, what's going on? Man, we got we slowly getting the whole Charlotte crew back together. Awesome. How you doing, man? Good to see you. I appreciate you swinging by. 9 people in the chat. So I've got like 129 followers, and that's not too bad for having for the number of followers I have. To what is this? For the number of followers I have, I always have people showing up in the chat, man. It's nice. Very nice. Yeah, let me hang on a sec. Now I'm already going slow. You're really gonna I'm already going slow. You're really gonna slow me down now, Tylox, because we're gonna get in here and start talking. So let me do my hang on a sec. If anybody wants to jump in, there's the link. You're welcome to. Six Face, so you're my 130th. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Is that what you're telling me? That would be awesome. Thanks, man. What's going on? 62 Lefty Blues, my lefty. How many lefties do we have in here right now? Me, you, Ty Locks at least. And of course, Circumstances loves when I start talking about left-handedness. He mentioned that. Yeah, that's it really worked to our advantage though, because a lot of the comic book creators and artists that we ran into were left-handed. Oh, okay. Maybe it's 130 now. Maybe it's, who knows, with the algorithm. I could have like 110 by the time the stream's over. So yeah. Nice. Another lefty. That's 4, man. 4 out. So we've got 9 people and 4 lefties. Marcus, it did pay off though, for sure, man. It was did the link? Maybe I didn't hang on a sec. All right. Maybe it didn't post before. Yeah, it did. Tylox asked for the link and then he disappeared. Anybody's welcome to jump in. You're welcome to. So it came with this nice little this is like an old school newspaper. This was in the bottom of the box. This is from my comic shop. Comic Shop News 2022 Summer Preview. It's probably good I went ahead and opened this one, or else I'd be opening it in the fall. So I've got some nice reading material here from our good folks at my comic shop. No kidding, man. And I took lessons when I was a kid. My dad had dreams of me being what they call good at golf. And so I just had to learn right-handed. There's a lot of things I do that I think I probably would do differently if it were if I had the resources. Ambidextrous is lefty. Now this is my interpretation, because I think I kick a ball, I plant with my left foot and kick with my right foot. But I think it hinges on what hand you write with. That's the one factor that can't be deviated from at all. You have to write left-handed in order to be considered left-handed. You can do other things. I write left-handed. I use my fork left-handed. There's some things I can do, like putting. Like if I go play putt-putt or something, I can do. I'm ambidextrous with that. I know, man. Isn't that interesting? Maybe I need to hashtag lefty. Hashtag maybe they're picking up the name Southpaw. Maybe some lefties are getting. I think we just have some psychic link, actually, Six Face, that we just sense when our when our brethren need us. I had to think about that for a second. I'm left-handed. That is a good one. Yeah. So there's some things that I do with my right hand, or can do with both. But I think you have to even get taken seriously by us left-handed folks. You have to write with your left hand. All right, so we'll see. I have no idea what I've got. I think I say that every video though, but let me do a quick sort, because I know I've got multiple copies in here. I just double bought a couple. I'm glad I opened this because I've actually got stuff I have to read. I've got stuff I need to get caught up. I've been reading a lot this week. I went to my LCS this weekend, like Friday or Saturday, and it's you don't realize, well, I guess you do realize what you spend, but oh, that's awesome, dude. Yo, what's going on, Sith? How you doing, buddy? Appreciate you swinging by, man. I went and picked up a stack of books. I have not been since before we went to Charlotte. So I had books just waiting on me, and I told him, I said, "Hey man, I'm working on, I'm just hang on to them. I hadn't forgotten about them." And he was cool with that. So all right, this is a cool list. But I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna have to reference some of these on my phone. What I usually like to do is take notes and write them on the packing slip. They were missing one book when I placed this order. Usually if you get your order in and everything's in you have to keep watching your total, because other people have these same books on their waiting list. So you definitely have to keep an eye on the total to make sure they don't try to make sure they don't somebody else hasn't bought it before you click submit after you check out. So I've been enjoying the Carnage run. Now, I wasn't sure when I told my shop owner that, hey, I want to start doing the Carnage run. Can you add that? I wasn't sure that when he would pick up on it. Like at what point did he need me to let him know so that you know, how far in advance do I need to let him know to start? So I went ahead and picked up a couple of these. This one I really like though. This is so I've got issue 2 and 3. 4 just came out. So no kidding, dude. I had $100. Like there's there goes $100 easy. What's going on, J80 Hobbies? How you doing? Yes, Carnage. Let's get to the books. This Delato, man, I'm digging it. It's actually, he usually does the background more. This is more like a character spotlight. But he just does freaking killer work, man. I just like his. I've watched videos, just sat there and watched videos of him working on stuff. There was a Doctor Doom, blank cover that he was doing for somebody, and I was just like, wow, dude, this is, I mean, it's just amazing, really good. So issue 2, issue 3, and so I had issue 3 and 4. I read 2 online. 3 and 4 was in my stack for the last almost month. So I read it over the weekend, and it's really good, man. I really enjoy it. It's like surprisingly good. All right, I've been so y'all let me start jabbering, and I was like, what's going on?
What's up? Oh, what's up, Sid? Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
100.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for hopping in. I was just sharing some stuff, and I went off on my little tangent about my LCS and how I had a big stat. Part of my weekend was like bagging and boarding everything that I hadn't picked up over the last 3 or 4 weeks. So,
yep.
I had
you spend like
bag and board a couple weeks ago.
Yes, you spend like $30 at a time, or $20-$30 every week. And then you don't do that for 4 weeks, and all of a sudden you got that'll be $100, and you're like, holy crap, man!
That now sounds like my pool, because I've been doing what Sith said down here, and a lot of people have been telling me to do. I'm cutting a lot of the new books because I figure I can just get them later, and I'm going to start working on older stuff, because to me it's stuff that I really, really want. So like I'm gonna start doing it that way. So my pull list is slowly gonna deteriorate. It's pretty much going to be stuff that I really, really enjoy, and that's pretty much it. Like new stuff, I figure I can just grab later.
Here, I'll show you what my pull list was last week.
Oh God, one book.
I did buy a few. I bought the new Batman.
Yeah,
I did get I saw the cover B of this, and there was one left, and I'm glad I picked it up. You tell me it's $35 now. That's good work.
No kidding, man. I had a feeling about that one because that issue 16, I think, was his first full, and he had, I don't know, like 4 cameos between 1 and 16. He had a lot of abbreviated appearances.
Right.
So when 16 did well, I was like, well, if he's on those cover Bs have been doing well, and in fact, you go back and price some of those, they've been doing pretty well.
Oh, I know. I was pulling everything Strange Academy for a while. I was getting through like book 6 or 7. I have all of the store variants even.
Yeah.
I probably have like 60 copies of #1. Now, a bunch of those are second, a couple second prints, a bunch of thirds, fourths, all the variants, the Virgin variants for the 4th and 5th and 3rd. Yeah, there was, I don't know how many covers. There were a lot.
I'm just doing my big boys. Like I'm still Spider-Man, Batman, Flash, Nightwing, all that stuff. But the only thing really newer that I'm jumping on is Twig. I'm getting the Virgin variants. Dude, Kyle Stram's artwork is incredible. Scotty Young's writing an incredible story. So that I'm still keeping on my list. But yeah, it's getting to where it's going to be like, 10 books or less per month for me. So
I picked up a couple titles to try out just to see if they're really going to be any good. With Seven Sons.
Okay.
And The Closet. I know that's a little couple
That's
weeks
a little
old.
3-issue mini, apparently.
And then Public Domain.
See,
I
I
bought
didn't
that
know
one to read, man. That Chip Zdarsky. I've gotta jump on that one.
Oh, I
I
got
had
it.
it back.
I picked one up of this and I started reading it. I liked one, so I went ahead and got two.
Okay. That's the Momoko cover.
Yeah, I got the Momoko, the first one. I figured why not get the Momoko, both of them. And then this I found is something new I hadn't seen. So I usually like space operas, so I figured I'd pick up Starhenge. And before you ask, no, I haven't. I read Saga early on, like the first 5 issues before I got out of comics back. Was it the early teens that the Saga came out originally? Yeah, mid-teens, something like that.
That's cool. Well, I added when I went to pick up my books the other day, I added I told him, I said, all right, I've got with Chip Zdarsky taking over Batman, I gotta add Batman. And then in issue 1062 of Detective Comics, Tylox, I mentioned this to you the other day, but Ram V is going to be doing Detective Comics. So I was like, gosh,
and I'm glad I'm already pulling that. That's staying on the pull too. I've been liking Detective. I mean, well, now since Chip's taking it over, we'll see. You know, it's probably going to be like I'm enjoying both Bat titles, but Detective was my stuff for a while. That was on fire. Who was it? Tomasi was doing the writing, and then Dan Mora was doing the artwork. So
I always like the darker stuff. I always like the darker writers on Batman, and yeah.
And
I mean, Frank Miller Batman is my first Batman. I cut my teeth on Frank Miller Batman.
Yeah, Zdarsky's been busy, man. He's got that. Yeah, the new Daredevil comes out, and Marcus. If you haven't seen Marcus's weekly top 10, he showed a bunch of those Daredevil covers. There's a ton of them. They're banking on the Zdarsky, like the reboot of Daredevil, so they can do a ton of covers. But they've got a bunch of covers, but a bunch of good covers coming out this week. So there's some really nice covers coming out.
Well, anybody watching, just remember, I'd wait on any ratio variants. You know, I actually picked up. I've got a 1 in 1,000 at Deadpool that I picked up for $100.
Wow.
They did the Deadpool #1. They did a 1 in 1,000 ratio variant of it, and 20. Not the last run, but the one before. So I guess it was a 5-ish run 5. Something. They've rebooted Deadpool. They've rebooted everything so many times now. How do you keep up? It really.
I know it's hard to. Yeah, you have to consider the volume number on everything now. It's it makes it tough.
And it is kind of ridiculous. Well, I tell you guys, the only auctions I've been really hitting on are Hip Comics or hipcomic.com.
Okay.
Kind of like Heritage Auction House, but smaller.
Oh, I get their emails. Yeah.
Sometimes you find some stuff really cheap. I mean, the people are getting into bidding wars, obviously, but you know, some of the smaller stuff. So I think here, wait, real quick, I'll show you what I got for $60. You guys can tell me how I did. There's a Tomb of Dracula. This is 19.
Oh, nice.
These are all like fine minus, fine plus, 20. 25. So that 19, I think, is like the first time Blade is that you find out Blade's immortal. So it's like the first origin or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a key. I couldn't remember what it was, but
at 44. So that's the first.
Who does that cover? Holy crap!
Right. I love that cover. That's beautiful.
Oh my god.
That's the I forget the guy's
every color there is.
The same art. He did a bunch of Doctor Strange back then too. I can't remember who. I can't remember his name.
I think that's the first meeting between Strange and Dracula as well. And then another Blade issue.
That's nice.
45. And then here, this is Blade's first solo story.
Very cool.
And then the last issue, 70. I got all that for $60.
Yeah, that's a steal, man.
Yeah. Like I said, every now and again.
Colin. Is that how you pronounce it?
Colin.
Is it Gene Colan?
Oh, Gene Colan. Yeah.
Yeah, he did Doctor Strange and Dracula for a while there. So let's see.
I was about to say, get back to your stuff. We're already slowing you down.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good, man. I don't hate that. So that's
Make yourself big.
All right.
I'll help you with production. Hold on, let me re-up my coffee.
All right. So all right, I'll need some help with, let's see, a few of these. All right. These are just some books I had on my wish list from my comic shop. I've shown this one before, and I'm just, if I see it for a decent price, I pick it up. But this is Ghost Rider number 31. Let me try to keep that glare off. This run there, this was kind of the what volume was this? Fourth.
Is that the Robbie? Is that the Robbie run?
No, this is. Okay. I don't even know what hit. This is fifth or sixth, maybe.
It was the all new Ghost Rider.
It was, yeah, right, yeah. So, but during this series, there were a number of times where they not only introduced key villains for Ghost Rider, they also introduced the fact that, hey, there's more than one. Like there's the Ghost Rider of Tibet and the Ghost. So there's like this particular issue. This one is Baron Skullfire, a spirit of vengeance from the Congo. Marinette Boischek, spirit of vengeance and partner of Baron Skullfire. And then Shark Rider, who's a Ghost Rider that rides a giant great white shark. So there's like a Ghost Rider from Tibet, a Ghost Rider from China and Japan and all these different places. And they just over the course, now issue 33, 2 issues later, they had about 6 or 8 Ghost Rider characters introduced, first appearances in issue 33. Go find issue 33 of Ghost Rider and you'll see like that's a $50 book now. Wow. I think people just weren't paying attention. And I'm a fan of doing I'm a fan of, you know, tracking down these, you know, these any kind of first appearance, but when you have multiple first appearances in an issue, that's a fun one to run across. So
first appearances in the last decade, a lot of them had really low print runs. So
yeah. This one's from 2019.
It's not like everybody was like, oh, Incredible Hulk 181, but how many issues of that comic were produced?
Right.
Like 500,000, 250,000 copies of that were originally produced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, it's crazy to think about. I mean, when like Amazing Spider-Man, or excuse me, Amazing Fantasy, when it hit that record sale, I don't know, 6 months or so ago, it's amazing how many of those start popping up and how many people I hear talking about, yeah, I just sold one for 40, you know, a 3.5 or a 4.0 for 40 grand or something like that. And we're talking about like undocumented sales. Like these are transactions that are happening off the record.
On the original run or on the one they just did?
No, Amazing Fantasy, the original one.
15.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 40 grand for that book, you know, in a lower grade.
Well, Brad, if you haven't heard, there's a whole bunch. They're doing a whole bunch of reprints coming up of like the big Spider-Man issues. ASM 1 they're reprinting.
That would be fun.
ASM 1 annual, first Sinister Six. They're reprinting that, and Detective Comics 27, first Batman.
Very cool.
Oh, that's the way I'm getting them because I'll never get them any other way.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool to read it in that original format like that. The homage covers. Have y'all seen the Harley Quinn homages they're doing with like the one with Batman and Robin swinging in front of the moon or something, and it's a yellow cover, and they're replacing Robin with Harley Quinn, but they're doing it a ton of those first appearance of Robin. They've replaced Robin with Harley. They're homaging a lot of those, or straight up cover swiping a lot of those original layouts. So up next, we've got, geez, this, I hate the new iPhone. I guess it goes blank quicker, so your battery stays a little longer. Cool cover and a Ghost Rider villain, but this is Ghost Rider number 3. This is the 2019 run. Very cool cover. I like that cover a lot. This is the first appearance of Necrosis. Is that right? Yeah, Necrosis. So just a villain, but really like the cover on that one.
That is nice. I like Mephisto.
Yeah. One of these days. We'll see him one of these days. Now,
at this point, I think Feige's afraid to put Mephisto in. What if it flops?
Yeah, I know, man. I gave up. I was supposed to go see the movie with 2 of my nephews on Sunday, and that fell through because one of them had a long day at work and wasn't getting off until later, so we had to can that idea. But after like hearing so many people talk, I'm like, gosh, at this point, I don't even know if so I watched the spoiler show last night. They were giving away some stuff, so I was like, what the heck? I'll just watch the spoiler show and deal with it.
I haven't watched the spoiler
yet. Thanks for swinging by. Hope you're doing well. We're doing a little late afternoon, early evening. I just felt like it, I just felt like doing a live video, and it was before Charlotte when I did my last one, not counting the villain show that I did recently. So Marvel Presents 19. This is shoot, did I just go draw blank? Hang on a sec. First, Damage Control. So they popped up in Ms. Marvel, and I never like. I feel like an inadequate fan sometimes when Nick the Comic Nerd. What's going on, man? Thanks for swinging by. Nick? Hope you're doing well. So Damage Control, I feel inadequate as a comic fan at times when I'm like, oh wait, they've been talking about them in the movies for a while. But this happens to be their first appearance, and they popped up in Ms. Marvel. I think every time they pop up in a movie, this book gets hot, and I just happened to snag a couple for a few bucks. But every time they mention them, that this book kind of sees a little spike, and this one happens to be a Liefeld cover. So that's not Damage Control, obviously, but they're one of the, they had multiple stories in these Marvel Presents, and they're one of the stories in here. But they're the team. They've got a new series coming out this year.
Hey, Southpaw, what does the back look like? Some of those Marvel Presents had different covers on the front and back, not ads.
Let's see.
What's up, Damien? What's up, Joe?
What's going on, man? Thanks for coming by. Pocan Joe, what's up?
Hey, Joe.
I got lucky, Vaughn. That was I got real lucky on that one. Yeah, so introducing Damage Control.
Yeah, okay, cool.
They're just some average people, and they go in and clean up after superheroes destroy the cities. They go in and clean stuff up and get it back to normal. They are starting another they're getting their own, I guess it's a 5-issue mini or something. And it's written by the guy who lived and wrote the Goldbergs show. He's doing the Damage Control series that's coming out in, I think it's in August.
That's cool.
Yeah, coming up here pretty soon. So
you need some clear backing boards for those.
Yeah,
Man.
those wraparound covers, man. That would be cool. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a link. What's his name? Rob Fatstack shot me a link of where he gets his because I can't find any local, dude. I've tried. Like you've seen me when I walked into shops with us. I was asking them for clear backing boards, and they were like, one guy was even like, "They make those," and I was like, "God Almighty."
I wish I'd gotten when I started my Instagram a few years ago. The guy who did the company who made the clear boards was giving them away for free to,
Just
to
have
influencers
word
and
of
people
mouth
and stuff.
out.
Yeah. And in fact, when they did their first initial order, like they sent a link to people and you could buy 1,000 of them or 10,000 of them for a hefty discount so they could get a bigger order and save money,
Yeah.
I really wish I'd backed them then because I was like, man, I don't know how those are going to go. But now I've used them. I'm like, man, those things are nice.
Do you use them on a lot of your wraparound covers and stuff?
I've only used them. I've only got them on a few things. So I've only got the one pack that I bought of them. So I save them for, the wraparound stuff. So like the X-Men 25 newsstand that I have that's in really nice condition, I use for that. Anything that's got, like you said, got the back you want to see.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Send me that, Tylox. That'd be awesome.
All right.
This is new X-Men number 5. And so I'm planning on doing a top 10 X character video. It's like not your run-of-the-mill X-Men characters, but I want to do like some obscure characters that I think would be really cool. It's people obscure, but they've used. I mean, they're using them for other teams and they've got some longevity, but just kind of not your, the team we all know and love, the Cyclopses and Storms and Beasts and all those guys, Angel. So this is the first appearance of Pixie, and Pixie's been used quite a bit in the X-Men. So it's actually a little, I've had this on my radar for a long time. It's a little tough to track down. And I think most people are wanting like, $15 to $20 for it, but I wasn't going to pay that. So I waited and, got it for, better than not as good as I would have liked to, but better than $15 to $20. So, but that's a character I think is just kind of cool. Those obscure characters like Pixie and Blink and Sync and, those folks. So, this is a fun book. It's a little tough to find. I pick it up whenever I see it pop up, but this is Nick Fury's Howling Commandos. And it's like an all monster team.
Yeah, the Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. So this was I guess the first iteration of them, and it's got the Vampire by Night. I can't remember her name, but
Nina Price.
Yes. So she was part of the team. So just kind of a neat a neat run. I bought this, and I've also bought the Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D. led by Dum Dum Dugan, where they've cloned, he walked into a room and realized like every life-size tube that's up on the wall is clones of him. So when he dies, they just pull another one out of the tube there and send him back out on his mission.
I've got that whole run. I started backing on that a couple of years ago when Nina Price and Werewolf by Night and all of that team were spoiled through casting call lists. The stuff that they do over on Lords of the Long Box, they dig through the casting call lists and come up with names of characters that are coming in the future.
Right.
Yeah. Well, when they wrote, I think at that time, TiVo was like, hey, all of these characters are all in this thing called the Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D. And if they're all coming to the MCU very specifically at the same time, then they're probably going to be coming together. So the first appearance of them is S.H.I.E.L.D. number 9 from I think it's the 2015 or 2016 run.
Okay.
There was Yeah,
Yeah.
only 22,000 copies of that were bought. And there's 2 different 1 in 50 covers and a 175 cover.
I want the one with them on the cover. Is that one of the 1 in 50s?
Yeah, it's one of the 2 1 in 50s.
Yeah.
I've got it graded and 2 raw of it, I believe.
Very nice.
Every time that was one of those that for a while I just put an eBay search up, and one would pop up every 6 months. I mean, that's as little as few as I saw of them. And I bought what I could for like a couple years.
Yeah, that's a cool book. And I've got the Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D. with the first appearance of Glyph that they've been talking about for quite a while too. That's in that issue 1. And I think she's introduced, but her name isn't revealed until like issue 4 or 5 of that run. But yeah, she's another character. They kept saying on that show, like, hey, they're coming. Glyph's gonna be a thing. She's coming. So
yeah, they have a pretty good track record. Like I said, I mean, you can't go wrong digging through casting call lists because this is what the studios are putting money into, right? So
right.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since they've really cooled on doing those shows. That was one of the first things I watched when I got back into comics was that show. And
what was it? What they were doing? That was every now and again on a Sunday they did it with what's the gentleman's name? He lives here in Seattle.
Yeah, Mikey Sutton.
I have a problem recalling stuff.
Mikey Sutton. Yeah,
Mikey Sutton. There you go, Mikey Sutton. Yeah,
he's got some connections there, and it's not perfect, and when he hears things, there's I don't know, there's probably a lot of hate. He probably gets a lot of haters doing what he does because they expect everything to be 100% accurate. But you can't account for, hey, when they cut a scene or when they've there's a lot of material that gets left on the cutting room floor when you're editing a movie. So something could be shot or a character could be shot and get cut out, and you just never know. Because I think he was saying that Wolverine was going to be in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. He was expecting not only he mentioned he did say.
Well, I think they thought Hugh Jackman had said yes and Patrick Stewart had said no, and it seemed to be the other way around. Patrick Stewart said yes, and Hugh Jackman must have said no. Because if they could have got Hugh Jackman, they would have.
Yeah. Well, and they said when Patrick Stewart said yes, they said that it was the thing that kind of pushed Hugh Jackman to say, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Because the whole idea was that, look, there was a finality to his story that he didn't want to drudge up. I mean, that was a really good, that last Wolverine movie where they introduced.
Oh yeah. The Old Man Logan storyline was great.
Yeah. So that was it for him. And God, I don't know how, it's got to be grueling. That dude is in his 50s and just like shredded. That dude got shredded for those movies.
Well, not just shredded. You know what they do at on the day of filming when they take their shirt off, they'll dehydrate themselves for 28 or 48 hours.
Yeah.
They even say it's dangerous, but they do it for the camera, and I don't think it's healthy for the rest of us, right? To see that kind of thing, like, ooh, we can get to that. No, you can't. That's not healthy.
Well, I'll tell you, I think it's so unhealthy that I have this body. I'm staying as far away from being that. No abs. You're not, ladies, don't worry. You're never going to see a 6-pack on Southpaw Brad. I promise you that. I want to stick around as long as I can. So that's the promise I make to you. It's nuts. I looked up like his workouts and the number of him and Chris Helmsworth and like their workouts and the calories they just blow your mind.
Well, yeah, man. Look, this is how I look at it. When it's your job to stay looking like that, and all you have to do is do 9-hour workouts a day, like for months before you go into filming. Yeah, of course you can do it. But most people don't have that. Most people don't have the time or can't put the effort in.
Yeah.
Well, you when you clock in and go to the gym, that's you're getting paid for that. So, but it's hard work. I'm not going to say it's easy by
Oh no, it's super hard.
yeah.
Could
All right,
you
so
imagine not eating any food that you've ever liked, like of any kind. Like
I can imagine going nuts after the last day of filming.
yeah, it's just like no chimichangas. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like The Rock used to do. He would have a cheat day though. Those guys do work in a cheat day sometimes because it just keeps you mentally in the zone when you know you have that to look forward to. So he'll do like The Rock used to post his Sunday evening meal, and he'd do like 2 large pizzas and a tray of brownies was his dinner.
And then like a chocolate milkshake or something like that.
Just crazy, crazy stuff. I'm like, unfortunately, I enjoy stuff like that 7 days a week, so that's my problem. So up next, we've got, this has been a cool little, I went down a little rabbit hole with this run. This book was kind of hot for a while, and I don't know, we'll see as the scrolls get introduced, we'll see how this shakes out. But this run has been neat, man. It's Incredible Hercules, number 120. And this is the first appearance of Caliban. He's a scroll god. And this run has been interesting in that I've also, one of the books I picked up that I've got coming in or in one of these boxes, one of the books I've got coming down the line is so Incredible Hulk turned into Incredible Hercules in the middle of that run at some point. And so I've got the issue where, like, people don't realize in this run, this Incredible Hercules run, like Hercules and Amadeus Cho are best buds. They do, like, they embark on a lot of adventures there. So I was like, that's kind of neat, man. I wasn't collecting at the time, so I didn't realize that. So there's also a 4 or 5 issue miniseries run where Hercules loses the Prince of Power title and the mace or whatever that he carries, and Amadeus Cho takes. So before Amadeus Cho was Hulk and Brawn, he was the Prince of Power after Hercules lost that moniker, that title, and the power that goes along with that title. So it's been a kind of a cool run. I'm picking up some of those Amadeus Cho storylines that go along with Hercules there. So the next one, let's see. I want to get the name of this. Okay. So this is another one I buy whenever I see it, for reasons that occurred. Have both of y'all seen Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness?
I haven't seen it, but it's whatever.
You're past.
No, I haven't seen it. I don't get out to the theater, so.
Right. I'll see it whenever it comes up.
Well, last time I saw a movie with Ty-Lots, I got COVID. So
yeah, exactly.
That was New Year's Eve of this past year. But so this Fantastic Four 570, and there's several variants of this book and several different. I pick these up when I see them. This is the first appearance of the Council of Reed. So this is Reed Richards. He forms a council across the multiverse, and there's different versions of himself that appear in Fantastic Four 570. There's a couple of variant covers, like 1 in 10s, 1 in 25. There's several different ones, but I was like, that's kind of neat because there are people who are swearing up and down that we are not getting John Krasinski as Reed Richards in the next, when they officially do Fantastic Four. They're saying they're more than likely going to cast someone else for that for that role, which I like him a lot, and I think he did a great job. I kind of hate to see it not be him. I was one of the ones who was pulling for John Krasinski to be the guy. So, so last in the box. This is a little Captain Britain related. Well, Captain Britain and Black Knight and Blade spec. So this is Captain Britain number 4. So there's a couple of important things about this one. So Black Knight joins MI13. Is it Faiza Hussein joins MI13? So she eventually goes on. What's her? Faiza Hussein claims the sword Excalibur in this book. Now I'm trying to remember what her. Do they say what her? She goes on to later becomes Excalibur, the character. So not only does she wield Excalibur, but she becomes a character named Excalibur in issue 1 is her first appearance. But she joins MI13. So in this whole run, you've got, so this one is, that's issue 4. I also got issue 5. Blade joins MI13.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's some connections here. Just checking to see if I could see I like that dope Blade cover. And then in issue 8, so this is the first meeting between Blade and Black Knight. So I guess technically we've already seen that in the movies.
Yeah, I was going to say, when wasn't Black Knight? I forget where the spec was. What movie was he supposed to be in?
Eternals.
Eternals. Oh, okay.
And he did so.
Yeah. I remember now.
Yeah,
he made his first appearance there, but he looked like he's not done. But then they haven't done anything else with Eternals, so
right. And I don't know what else. Yeah, I don't know what else they're planning on putting him in, but the actor signed. What did he do? Like a 6 movie deal or something? 5 or 6 movie deals. So he's here to stay for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that run with Captain Britain is pretty cool. There's some little keys in there, and with the MI13 thing, but also having Blade and the Black Knight meet for the first time. Kind of a neat thing. So what? That's we got through one box, so that's pretty good. One and a half.
We're talking too much. We're keeping you from getting through your stuff.
Listen. I always say this is an unboxing / spec show that it's actually a hangout masquerading as an unboxing and spec show. So I would rather do that, and I end up with, like I said earlier, I mean, for the number of subscribers I have a pretty good number of people who actually watch my stuff. So I'm thankful for that. That's good to have. So what do you guys have coming up here this week? Anything? Tylox, you want to go first? I'll put you in the spotlight.
I have a haul. Well, a book ship probably Wednesday, so I'll have a haul video probably sometime next weekend. Let's see, and I think that's pretty much it I have coming up this week. But then the week after that, I have another episode of Tunes and Collections. I'm making up for the one that I missed because dude canceled on me twice, but we won't get into that. So I've got one that I'm making up with Ron Halsner from The Skull. He's the bass player from The Skull. He has an antique taxidermy collection.
Wow.
So that's going to be interesting because I know nothing about taxidermy. I mean, I know people who are into it, but I don't know anything about it. And I didn't know there was antique taxidermy. So he's got that coming on. And then I'm going to be on Bookworms Meet the Collector that weekend that I'm off too. And then, of course, there's Spine Ticks. And then bench warmers from Cardboard Crazies. I'm doing that week too. So that week's loaded. This week's gonna be light.
I might jump on with them for a little bit on Thursday this week to if there's room. I've got some. Might have had some
on PSA tendencies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I might
get in on that.
I got a couple of envelopes in from this week from just scouring for some rookie cards and stuff.
I have been researching. I'm buying all the Griffey cards I can buy, and it's funny because they're everybody's like, oh, the rookies are the ones you want to get, but I've started researching it, and there's other ones that are. There's one I've got a bid on now on eBay. It's a 1 in 10,000 from '96, and it's an acetate card. It's clear. And apparently, like it's pretty. It's not pricey, but it's like up there as far as like old Griffey cards and stuff like that because there's only 10,000 of them. And then at the same time, it's like they didn't do acetate a whole lot back then, and stuff like that. So I keep posted on that. But yeah, I'm just buying little stuff here and there.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm looking into. Apparently, like card pressing and cleaning is a thing.
Yeah. I just found that out too.
So, but it's not nearly as prominent as comic book pressing and cleaning, or at least I haven't found the right rabbit hole yet. But I've seen some people that sell products that do it, but not people who actually do it. So I've got some cards. Well, I'd have to really interview the people thoroughly to make sure that I was sending it to somebody who was reputable. But I've got
how would you do? How do you press a card anyway? I mean,
same way you press a comic. Same way you.
Well, I know, but you can take. I mean, comics the way they, the structure of the material of the paper, you can get defects out by pressing it. I don't see how on a piece of cardboard you can press a defect out of it. You see what I'm saying?
I have no idea. I think it's more.
I mean, I understand cleaning. I think the cleaning I definitely, but I would be really interested to hear how you do a pressing of a.
There's YouTube channels where they do live pressings and live cleanings.
Interesting.
And it's really weird because in comics it's like standard operating procedure to get your stuff pressed to make it look better. But as far as cards go, I found that a bunch of card channels, like they frown upon it because they're like, oh, that's cheating on getting a better grade than it would have gotten. It's really it's interesting to see how they look at it to where they're like,
you missed those arguments from like 6 years ago, don't you? Were you into collecting like 6 or 7 years ago, Tylox? Because that was a big deal in the comic community back then.
Oh, was it?
Pressing. Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I know I didn't even know pressing was a thing back the last time because the last time I was in it was like 10 years ago. So yeah, and it's just like I mean, if you're gonna get them slabbed and you want a good grade, and it's not like the book's gonna stay that way forever once you get it graded, then I mean I wouldn't see the big deal in it, but it's interesting because they're that way with cards now where they're just like, oh, he presses his cards, so it's not really a 9.5 or a 10 or whatever. And I'm just like,
I think one of the things they do is instead of pressing the entire card between like two plates with heat, I've seen one guy use a tool, and it's like a I don't know, maybe the size of a pencil, and he's got a rubber tube. He developed this tool himself and has used it on his own stuff. And now he sells a kit that does this, but it's got a little tube on the end, and he uses that. So he'll work the corners and the edges to smooth where they might flare a little bit. They'll kind of smooth and sharpen the edges a little bit. So it kind of like press the
I wonder if you could use those tools on comics then. Like, I don't ever heard anybody doing that. Yeah.
I think the only thing it would be, how much, well, the cards being thicker, obviously the pressure would be different, but possibly, but it takes so little. It seems like it takes so little to dent a cover of a comic.
Yeah.
I don't know if that tool might be too.
Well, no, that would be like the touch up, right? Once you've pressed it and you've already done your standard, that one little piece on the top cover that's going to keep it from being a 9.6 and a 9.8, you might be able to work out with that tool.
Yeah, it's certainly worth a try. But I'm a fan. I mean, to me, there's a difference between pressing and restoring for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, so the thing is like 8 years ago, that was the whole debate. I said pressing is restoration, and they wanted, because you can tell you can usually tell if something's pressed. So there was a whole debate. They wanted grading companies to acknowledge that it was pressed, and they wanted people to get purple labels for it as restored. Yeah, it was a big thing, and then it just kind of went to the wayside because people were like, "You're not actually changing the book itself, so it's not." Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of crazy. I wouldn't have thought they would have made because with the way when people buy graded books, they want the highest grade possible. Well, I hate to tell you, but most of these books you buy are not going to be 9.8s if you don't get them pressed. So,
no,
like you're either going to get lower
you're
grade.
You're really rolling the dice to take something right off the rack and submit it. I mean, and think about, so I'm 53, so think about when I bought off the rack, it was a literal rack. The metal spin racks, and kids were not kind to comics. Yeah, they bend every book, looking for the one that they were looking for, and it's like that made me cringe when I would see that, because I was particular even back then.
Well, back when I was doing local shops. And I was going to get my books all the time, you would see those guys. I would come in, get my books, dig through some back issue, and you would see these guys come in and they would go to the rack. They would give them their books that were in their pool, but then they would go to the shelves and they would pick up books and be looking at them and then put their copy back and put this one in their thing. And I'm just like, that seems like a lot of time, because I'm over here, grab my pool, go digging through back issue bins. I'm out in 30 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe if I'm like, got some good amount of money to spend on back issues. These guys are in there for 3-4 hours just
getting their new comic books.
And I'm like, and that's all they're getting is their pull. And I'm like, what? Like, so.
Yeah, some people can be particular, Yeah. I'm a borderline OCD myself, so
I'm particular. Yeah, I'm particular too, but I am mindful, like, oh well, that's not color breaking. I'm not gonna,
right.
I may give it a look. And if it's one I'm just planning on reading, I noticed for the most part, so Tylox, you've been to my LCS.
Yeah.
The one that I have a pull list with, and for the most part, they do a great job. I did get my Swamp Thing 14 this week, had some all black cover. So it's, obviously easily picking up some, ticks and fingerprints and all that good stuff. And I cringed a little bit when I was in Charlotte, because I had it in my head that I was definitely going to get a signed book submitted because they had witnesses there. So I took the witness around. Trev, the shipping guru, what's going on, man? We just subbed each other yesterday. Trev has literally got, unless he's done another one since the one I watched this weekend, he's literally got one video and looks like a seasoned veteran doing it. So welcome to the mayhem that is content creation, Trev. Welcome to the fray, my friend. But I took the Marvel graphic novel number 4 and got it signed by Chris Claremont and Bob McLeod and had it witnessed. And then I take it back to this company. They're in Florida, so Circumstances has used them before. They basically take it back with them and walk it to CGC to submit. And I'm like, well, that'd be cool, man. That's a book that I've always wanted. I bought it last year, and I'll have it preserved. And then I literally watched a video the Monday I got back, and somebody said the one book I'd never have graded directly at a con is Marvel graphic novel #4, the New Mutants book, because there's so much black on the cover, it picks up every fingerprint, and I'm like, crap.
Yeah.
I was like, guy, in hindsight, I mean, I guess the only thing I could have done is had it pressed and cleaned after the fact, and then submitted to CBCS, because I don't think they would have a hard time verifying those, the signatures for those two guys. So I guess that's the only thing I could have done, but I was so excited about that process that I didn't even, I'm like, God, man, they should have like a comic, like a booth that's a comic cleaner where,
right.
Hey, we're going to take it to walk with the witness over to the cleaner and let them wipe the fingerprints off. And, but I guess the only cool thing, if they hit me for any fingerprints, the chances are high that one of those fingerprints could be Chris Claremont's or Bob McLeod's.
Yeah.
And it will be forever preserved in plastic. So that's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to tell
forever be able to open their cell phones.
Right. That's right. That's right. So,
oh man, nobody thought about the downfall of fingerprinting, did they?
Yeah. So, so yeah, I'm still glad to have that preserved. The only, they said, well, the turn time on a magazine is 18 months. So in a year and a half, I'll be excited to receive that.
We're not all dead 18 months. Good Lord.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but I guess it's being the non-standard size is.
They didn't tell you, just give us $50 and you'll get it back in 2 weeks.
He said it wasn't even worth it on that. It's not a significant enough time frame. He said they're just doing that with all those magazines. They would have let me fast track it if that was an option, but I think the size is just right. Fingerprint remark. That's what we'll call that.
Fingerprint remark. There we go.
Yeah.
Makes it worth more.
That's right. That's right.
What was the thing on Big Bang Theory where Penny gave Sheldon a napkin and he was like, what's the deal with the napkin? And she was like, and it was signed by Leonard Nimoy. And she was like, it looks a little weird because he used it to wipe his mouth. And he was like, I have Leonard Nimoy's DNA.
Clone Leonard Nimoy.
He literally said that. He said, all I need is all I need is a healthy ovum and I can clone my own Leonard Nimoy. And I was like, oh, Jesus.
Healthy ovum.
What, have you seen the Hulk 181, the cereal bowl variant is what it's called? It's a graded 1.8, but it's got a stain on it where obviously a cereal bowl, like some kid set their cereal bowl on and ate their cereal and it splashed onto the cover.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Like that's, to me, that's kind of like a sub crease or something like that. That's like it's a 1.8,
but it sells for a lot more than other 1.8s because I
bet it would, because that's like character.
It's the story. Yeah, it's got the backstory. That
it just
shows a couple of shekels.
This book that you're wanting to pay all this money for, that's how little it was thought of back then. Or the person who originally, that's how little they thought of it. They set their cereal bowl on it. They used it as like a placemat.
Well, hopefully that kid's the one who got it graded. Hopefully it wasn't his dad's and he didn't realize.
Like his personal one.
Dad or big brother left their comic book sitting on the kitchen table and ended up getting destroyed by little brother.
Well, there's also the cheating boyfriend variant. I think it's Amazing Spider-Man. What's the first lizard? Is that
it's like
7
or 14 or 7
13 or 14.
Yeah, it's like, I think it might be sub 10. Yeah,
this dude had it was beautiful, man. It was like a 9.4 or something, and he cheated on his girlfriend, and she found it and took marker to it saying, "You're a cheating bastard," blah blah blah, all over the cover. Yeah. He got it graded. It sells now. It's one of those that's got character that people pay extra for.
Well, why wouldn't you create a story around a low grade copy?
Right? That's great.
Yeah, I've already got a 1.8, so I'm going to create a story and earn myself another extra 50 grand or whatever the premium
Oh my
is for
God,
having
yeah.
a solid story. That's funny. I actually thought Six Face, I thought you were going to, have you ever seen the cereal bowl one and then you were going to go get it off your shelf and bring it to show it to us? That's where I thought that was going for a second there. So
I don't have a 181. I had all of that, I had pretty much every bronze key known, and a lot of silver keys. I sold in a huge collection in 2016 when I moved out of Tennessee for the first time. So I started.
Where are you now?
Seattle.
Okay. Oh wow! I was like, well, we should hang out if you moved out of Tennessee. You got to be. Oh well, never mind.
No, I've been all over. I lived in Connecticut for a while. That's where I met the guys. A bunch of guys.
After you hopped on, I was thinking about when I started following you. I think you were. I can't remember what show it was, but I think you were on the panel streaming from your car.
I don't think I've done a car stream.
Maybe that was somebody else. And I was trying to remember.
I've done one, but that was rip cards while I was doing my laundry that one time.
I remember that one. Yeah, that was a good one.
It was really funny because Sith was like, why is this video better audio and video quality than at your house? Like, he was like, your phone is way better than whatever you're doing at your house. Like, this is weird.
Is your microphone not plugged in?
Oh no, the one I have now, it's it's the good one or whatever. It's just I've been told it's directional, but from what I read on the instructions, I have it set right to where it should be sounding. But I've never messed with settings on it or anything. Like if there's settings on the computer, I've never messed with it because I don't know how to do all that.
Just leave everything in the They must have surely they knew what they were doing at the factory. Let's don't start.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've got it set to the right directional setting. I've got it pointed towards me and stuff like that. It's pretty good.
I might have streamed from the car on Promiscuous Time Traveler's show. That was the first time I did a live stream, and then I was on Comic Journey, I think, once. I haven't done a lot of live streams, so the 100 sub giveaway was my first live stream on YouTube on my channel.
And how many subs do you have?
110 right now, or 100, and I think I'm at 108, something like that. I think some people quit me after I dropped my top 10 today. So like, screw that guy and his top 10.
Well, I mean,
I've been told blame it on the algorithm. Everything, right. Like everything.
I blame it on me being an asshole. I mean, I'm quite the asshole. So
I don't know.
I noticed I dropped 2 subs after the stream I did yesterday. And I don't know if people don't pay attention to the fact that I say the channel is not rated for 18 and under. And like, if I have musical guests on, like I tell them flat out, the show's not censored. And they're like, yeah, I can cuss all I want. And I was like, yeah, you can't. I like it. But I've got 2 subs drop me yesterday after that. But I think that might be because of what dude said on the channel. And everybody's like, well, I'm not watching this guy, but it wasn't my personal opinion over, basically dude said, he said, Jim Lee is a great artist. And Todd was a great artist, but he said what was it? He held up Wildcats. They're like movie, like VHS movie. I didn't even know they made that. But he was like Jim Lee's a great artist and everything, but after he left Marvel, like Wildcats was like it flopped. He was like, so what did he really do? And I was like, oh God, people are probably
became editor of DC.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, man wasn't wrong.
Well, let me see what this looks. I'm playing around with some. Oh, this looks good. All right. Now that I'm not showing books, let me so let's talk about that a little bit, because did y'all hear the rumors about him leaving DC to come to Marvel?
Oh, that's been a rumor. That was a rumor when the pandemic started.
Well, when they did the buyout, that rumor started when the buyout happened, when HBO bought out DC. And I thought it was going to happen, and he hasn't left yet. So I don't know.
Oh, now I guess he's actually doing it.
It seems like it's. I remember that when they were talking about maybe Marvel buying DC and all that stuff, but it seems like it's just intensified the last few, like over the weekend or something. I heard.
I mean, I just seen it today when I got on when I got up, started scrolling through my stuff that he's meeting with Marvel. So I guess he's coming back home.
Where did you see that?
I'm trying. Where's my phone? I think it was on Instagram. I think it was on Instagram. I'm seeing stuff in my feed where people are like, when like
I definitely want to see him do some X-Men again.
Yeah, like, you know, it was like a couple memes in my feed on Instagram where people were like, when you hear that Jim Lee's meeting with Marvel executives now and stuff like that.
That was Marcus.
Oh, that was Marcus. Yeah. That was circumstances. So he's starting the rumor mill on that one. But yeah, I immediately, I was literally like, I think I almost dropped my phone. Like I was like reading it, and I was scrolling through, and then I seen that, and I was like, I had to catch my phone because I was like, he's coming back home, X-Men, yes, all over again.
Well, yeah, but I mean, at this point, what would he come back as? Right? I mean, he's been editor over. Would he come as editor of Marvel? Would he like a director, or what would he be at this point? You know what I mean? He's not just an artist writer anymore.
This would be an ignorant question. Who is the editor now?
Of Marvel?
Oh, good. I'm glad
you out my trusty book right here.
If you would have made this quickly, I really would have felt like an idiot.
Oh, wait, look, circumstances is like, it was a joke, Tylox. Nope, we're starting a rumor mill. You done started it now.
And ladies and gentlemen, breaking news here on Saturday channel.
Will Moss.
Circumstances, a.k.a. Marcus, has broken news to the world that Jim Lee is, in fact, having dinner with executives at Marvel at this very moment.
So start your speculation now. X-Men Homecoming. X-Men Homecoming, Jim Lee.
X-Men Homecoming. Nice.
What's up, CJ?
Hey, Comic Journey.
If you want the latest scoop, follow Circumstances on YouTube. Everybody go sub him up because he's got the inside scoop.
Hell, at 1 o'clock tonight, he'll be talking about this. If anybody has insomnia, you can hop on and he'll be talking about this very.
Look at CJ. I've been saying at one point Disney will be buying DC. Just wait, you'll see. I mean, it could happen.
HBO is not going to sell it now. HBO's bought DC. They wanted all that intellectual property.
Yeah,
I mean, that was the big grab, right, for IP. HBO knew they come late to the game. Disney's been buying IP for decades.
So
yeah, that's a good point.
And it's Will Moss is the current editor. I don't even recognize the name.
I think it might be a thing where, I mean, you know, if let's put it this way, if they start buying the talent, say Tom Taylor announces he's going to do a Marvel book. I mean, he did before, and then he went exclusive to DC. But I mean,
he just did Dark Ages, though. He just did Dark Ages.
Yeah. So I mean, there you go.
Those guys are getting a lot more flexibility now. I mean, they're getting a lot more leeway that they weren't allowed to have back then, where there's not a, you know, you're either for us or against us kind of thing. Now they've just got. I mean, you look at Chip Zdarsky couldn't. There. I mean, he's got the independent, he's doing the public domain, he's doing Batman, and he's doing Daredevil. I mean, like, he's taken over the world as far as writing for comic books is going. He's got independent and the big.
Oh, shit. I gotta get ready for it. I'll see you guys later.
And you know, they probably offered him Spider-Man too when the last Spider-Man run ended.
That would have been interesting. What's up, Dave Collects? Yeah. How's it going, man? Hope you are doing well.
Hey,
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Trev, there's one more sub there, so for you, Six Face. So Trev, the shipping guru, as subject. I always encourage that too. If there's anybody, I think everybody here knows everybody, but if there's anyone here who's not familiar, we're all content creators, so let's sub each other up and help help us meet those goals. Not that that's what it's all about, but it is nice to be. We all like to be liked. We all like to be appreciated. So.
Yeah, some of us seek it. I actually started doing the videos just leave something for my wife eventually, because I have blood cancer. I'm in remission right now, but it'll relapse. So I expect probably another 10, 20 years, hopefully. But yeah,
That's interesting. That's really so. How is your wife? What does she think about the hobby, the collecting?
she's actually pretty cool with the collecting hobby. She encouraged me to get back into it in like 2012. I've been consulting for years. I had a small business I just started, and I had a bunch of money in the bank from a consulting gig I just come off of, and it was my 32nd birthday or something. And we'd go down to visit her aunt in Huntsville, Alabama. I'd stop at this little comic shop, and this guy was the last comic shop within like 100 miles, right in Huntsville, Alabama, which is engineering capital of the South, right? So all these guys who had grown up on X-Men and all the really good stuff would sell their collections to him. So he had like, man, I bought a huge chunk of the Strange Tales run from him. I bought a X-Men or an Avengers 1 signed by Stan Lee, CGC 6 series. Wow. I got it was Strange Tales 110. I got Incredible Hulk 102, Captain America 100, Showcase 22, 23, and 24, and a Green Lantern #1.
Wow.
I bought all that for like $2,200 in one night, like the Strange Academy, all those biggies I just gave you. Because he needed a roof on his building. This was 2012, the stuff wasn't really going. And that was even before Doctor Strange had been spoiled. So like nobody was on Strange Tales. The guy had the run sitting there he's like, that run's been there for 5 years. Nobody's even looked through it. He's like, I'll give you a discount if you want them. So so I just bought, I was like, I'll take all of them. And that's how I started the Strange Tales run. I almost had a full run of Strange Tales when I stopped. I had a full run of X-Men, except for some of the reprints, which even today, people you sleep in those reprints from like, was it 67 to like 93? Dude, those things are impossible to find. Yeah. Nobody saved them. If you're a true completist, getting those last 20 books in that are harder than finding 1 through 10, right?
Right.
Not as expensive, but they're harder to find.
Right. Yeah. Well, the perception, I mean, now there's people who every time they see a second print, they buy it. That wasn't, we frowned like when I would pick it up here and there, and I would go through spurts between, my youth. I obviously I mentioned I bought stuff off the spinner racks and stuff, but there was a stint in the 80s where I collected, then early 90s, and then along the way I'd think of a character or see a movie, and it would drive me to eBay to track down a book or something.
Right.
But back in the early 90s, we were like, that's a second prints or a no. That was taboo, that was, that's not it's not a legitimate thing. So, those, I'd rather have the,
Oh man, I remember how those, see, I worked in a comic shop. That's where my first job, I was like 12. I would do like, a couple hours on weekends to get free comic books at the comic shop. There's bagging and boarding and sorting for them. And
right.
I remember like the golden records, dude. People would bring those in all the time. They were like, you couldn't get more than $5 or $10 out of one of those books in the early 90s. Now they're thousands of dollars now. Yeah.
Yeah. I had several of those. Hang on, we got a guest. Let's bring him in Southpaw Brad fashion.
Keeping it to get on the edge, have some success out there, get everybody outflanked, and then come right back with Kyle Eckel.
Eckel has 9 carries in the middle of the field, and Candido 4.
What's going on,
Hey. Oh yeah.
How's it going?
Well, everything's going well. I figured. I figured. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? By the way, all right. You can hear me. I constantly have technical issues with my.
Did you just jug a coffee because your hands are jittery?
Like just a little bit.
Just down a gallon of
The key bump. That looks like a key bump, not coffee.
I've had plenty of coffee today, and I will probably have some more as the day goes on. It's only 6:10 p.m. here, so I'm we're only about halfway through our coffee intake for the day.
Halfway. You've got a late night stream coming up, I'm sure. And hey, Roscoe, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Probably got that in the plan somewhere. I don't know, somewhere along the lines there's going to be a stream again, maybe for the children of the night. I don't know, but I had to jump on because I like Sid. I like Sid a lot. Not you so much, Brad, but I like Sid a lot. So I figured I'd jump on because I don't think. Oh wait, what did you do to me? Hey, listen. Are you screwing with me, man?
Difficulties.
Don't mess with me, man. I got canceled the other day on my own channel. I'm the only guy on YouTube that gets kicked off of his own channel. I had Tylox on, I had Bookworm on, I had Cole on, and I get kicked off of my own stream. How does that work? I don't know.
You were probably playing some music you had no business playing or something. I'm going to guess.
No music, just my lovely voice. That's basically what the problem was. They don't like that. I believe they don't like my voice because it's the voice of reason. That's why. But
we'll start calling them the YouTube gremlins.
Yeah,
the YouTube gremlins have been out to get you.
Oh my God! I don't know what you want to call it, but I call it the googly eyes in the sky because I purposely think that Google has an agenda against me. YouTube has an agenda against me. I've been, they like to cancel things, and I'm one of the things they like to cancel.
Maybe one of your competitors in up there.
I'm sure the only thing YouTube cares about is money
or something. Your stuff.
Well, sorry, what was that, Brian?
Maybe one of his competitors has been giving him a thumbs down or reporting his videos.
Well, somebody's been doing that to Sith for sure. They got cut in the midstream last week again.
Yep.
See, it's good. You know why? You know why they did it to Sith? You know why they did it? Because he supports me. That's why. It all links back to me. They always get back to me. This is a different look. We got the vertical look going on today.
I was gonna,
Yeah.
Well, it's because Seth is on camera or on phone.
Sid. And I'm on the phone. Well, I'm on my phone. I could turn it sideways, but it didn't look as well.
If we do this, sorry about that, Sid. If we do that, it doesn't look as appealing, I don't think.
No, I think you're right. This is a nice, different change of pace. Everybody does this.
Is that better?
This thing. And no, I think the other way is better. This way,
actually, I like the landscape, not the landscape, the horizontal. When you're side by side, you got it was three pictures right side by side.
Yeah, there's no negative space. Now we have negative space. Now we have a negative space platform. We like positive things here. We like positive. Look, oh my God, stop doing that. I get nauseous very easily. So please,
you can't. It's confined. It's almost handcuffing you because your hands are confined to you can't move.
You can't use them like he always does.
You can't. He likes to be all over the place with the hands. So
no. This is actually a really good angle. I'm experimenting with new angles, and I think I like this angle right now. I like you seeing my every single little ugly piece of my cuticles here. That worked out really well.
That's your card showing angle, so you could put perfect for showing off cards at that.
It definitely works. So what are we talking about? The Marvel DC takeover? Is that what I jumped on it? I caught you midstream. So
Marvel DC. Well, we were
specifically it was Jim Lee in meeting with Marvel executives, but that was, I don't know that that's a real thing. If I get called out for breaking something that's not legitimate news, I'm going to blame it on Marcus.
I'm going to tell you a real thing. This is not like, hype and not like propaganda or anything like that. This is a real thing. If the comic book industry and hobby is to be able to survive and thrive in a really, really good way, Marvel and DC have to find a way to coexist in a certain way where their universes somehow intersects. That will be the savior. How lovely would it be if you know that you have a continuity, that somehow the multiverse has combined DC and Marvel in their own little platforms, and you have constant stories of interaction between characters like a Batman and a Daredevil, a Spider-Man and a Lobo.
Man, they can't get it
I
right
wish.
with less choices. I don't know if
I don't. Well, the big problem is Disney. Disney does not play well with others, guys. They're not gonna.
Well,
There's gonna be a lot of inside Disney stuff. So like you're gonna have different. Disney will play with their own little universes in their little world, but they're not gonna give their IP to anybody else.
Well, no, I'm not saying to give their IP, because here's the thing: DC is struggling a lot more than Marvel is at this moment, as far as getting the volume of sales. Sooner or later, they're going to be losing money if they're not losing money at this moment. Their movie platform kind of sucks. Even though I don't think the movies are horrible. Not some of them are horrible, but they're not abysmal. They're watchable, some of them, but they're not getting the eyeballs on them that they need. The Snyder Cut thing, that was a whole big disaster. That was like, even though I didn't think it was horrible, I just think people had higher expectations because of Marvel. What needs to happen is DC to allow Marvel to actually build up their characters again and actually make productive stories and make it interesting. People that know that Marvel and DC characters will be all part of the same universe and start to learn how they discover each other will make at least a decade worth of stories that people will really, really want to read. How great would it be to see Flash all of a sudden fly into the the quantum speed realm, whatever you want to call it, and then all of a sudden he's sitting there and he's trying to figure out who the hell Thanos is.
That should all be possible today, but copyright law is being as it is.
Well, it has to be a mutual
ridiculously overextended now. It really is ridiculously overextended now.
Well, and at every it's. I don't think that will ever happen. But
if it gets bought out, never say never.
They've always done. They've always, every decade they've tried this. Superman versus Spider-Man.
No, I'm talking about real continuity, not just a one shot.
X-Men versus the new Teen Titans, and then
versus new Teen Titans. They've done it.
Batman versus the Hulk. Who the hell thought of that story? How do you have Hulk versus freaking Batman? Freaking Hulk will eat the Batman. Anyway, those are ridiculous one-shot stories that they did for fanfare. I'm talking about true creative.
Well, it just shows that they were willing at some point to at least dabble, dip their toe in the water. But I don't know what.
I was going to say, I don't know if there's what continuity. I don't really know of any continuity in DC or Marvel. They both have 100 different worlds now. Earth 16 and Earth 37 was burned to the ground or whatever, and the DC side, similar on the.
All right, CJ, you're running my fan base off with these crazy ideas.
Where is your fan base? How many people we have on here? How many people
74.
we have on here?
74.
You got 74? No, how many people you have on here? Tell me how many people.
The high for the night was 10.
All right. I was not
ever since I kicked you off and let you back on, I've watched that number decrease.
Well, that's because you try to
I
kick
think
me
I'm
off.
getting throttled by
protesting.
YouTube is throttling me.
It's because you try to kick me off and people were protesting. Okay, here's the thing. All right, how many people, realistic? I can't see how many people we have here because I'm looking through StreamYard. How many do you have on here? Two. All right. So let's multiply that by 2. Let's make it 4 right now, and then we'll make it 8 and that kind of thing. So here's the thing. All the people that support the cause and support Journey, you need to come on here and you need to kick that freaking like button right in the nuts and prove this Southpaw Brad guy wrong. That I mean ratings. That every time I go on people's streams, ratings come up. Not if it so happens that your ratings drop in here, maybe it's not a me thing. Maybe it's a you thing. Maybe it's a you thing. How do we know that you're not interested? Maybe you're not interesting. My hands are wonderful. By the way, if you're gonna be voting for people's hands and stuff like that on the CBC awards, look at these hands. Look. I soaked in them like Palmolive. Look at that. I soaked in them. Look at that. Yeah, we got hands. We got all kinds of hands going on over here. But let me see how interesting. Let me see how interesting your storyline is. Without me talking, I'm not going to interrupt. I'm just going to sit here and be quiet, and let's see your ratings jump.
I highly doubt that.
Huh?
We've been on for 2 hours. I don't know how long. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you came in on the tail. We were wrapping up when you've prolonged this by about. We let you stick around and speak.
Hey, who's that guy? Trev Guru. Hey, there's another guy. Hey, Trev, did you just kick the like button in the nuts like really hard, or you could do?
Trev just started following me and Six Face. Just me this weekend. He just followed Sid here just tonight. So
he knows about the eye in the sky. He knows about the googly eyes.
yeah.
He knows all about it. He knows all about it. He knows all
sure.
about the canceled journey situation. He knows all about it. He knows all about it. And by the way, Six Face, you're gonna go through this remission, and it's not gonna come back until you're like 100 and something years old. And when you're 100 something years old, you're gonna want to die at that point.
Probably, especially since I'm not planning to live to 70 now, so of course I'll live to fucking 70.
No, you're going to live to over 100 years old. You're going to be an old, decrepit mummy, and you're going to be saying to yourself, why won't this time come? And no, you're going to live. You're going to live. Trust me, you're going to live. And
I'll
you're going
take
to be
the robotic body. I'm not above like replacing body parts with new ones and stick my mind in a younger body version of myself. Sure, let's do it.
heck yeah.
I'm ready for the sci-fi to come.
I'm all for the cybernetic parts.
Download my consciousness into the. I want the mentality that I have now, but the body of Southpaw Brad when he was 25.
I actually thought about like what would it be like to have your consciousness downloaded into a interstellar probe, right? Would it be an interesting storyline to see written? Like, how would you preoccupy yourself as a mind floating in a computer that's traveling, like takes 1,000 years to get to whatever destination you're going to explore?
That's a great idea. I mean, we already tried that with me. And then when Google called wind of that, they deleted me. So I don't know what to do about that. I tried to put myself into a little flash drive to go in there. And then Google just said, screw you, we're deleting you. So
if we want more upvotes or upvotes and downvotes, then we can just start talking all kinds of trash about people and stuff.
Was that Cole?
Controversy drives.
Controversy those aren't even your hands.
Fake
hands. You're like reading a script, and you've got an actor. Actually performing there.
That's only him trying to fame me because he wants to win that mustache and hands award, and because of his fluffy mustache. That's basically what's going on.
Wait, did it become a mustache and hands award?
Here's the controversy. You want to hear controversy, you guys? All right,
I don't think it's intended to be controversial.
No. It is controversial. It is just like always. It's meant to weigh the odds against me. So here's the thing. Instead of saying who has the best hands, who has the best mustache, who has the best hair, what happened? Brian decided, let's lump it all together, and we're going to have ourselves a big medley of options under one award. And here's the problem: you got individuals like Tylox. This guy has a mullet. He has a lovely mullet, and he has a mustache like Hulk Hogan. So now he's already. I already got this. I got already the odds against me because I only have hands. I don't have a mullet.
You only have the most important thing of all the things you just named.
What's that?
Hair can change. Mustache can change. Hands are forever.
Well, that's unless we cut them off, and then we got a problem.
I was going to say Ash would disagree with you.
Right.
Evil Dead. Come on, sorry.
Hey, come on. How cool would that be if I have like a robot hand too, like Ash or
the chainsaw hand from Army of Darkness.
Switching it out. I like his metal grip hand too. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shit, you could grab a
We,
lot of
ca-
stuff.
we count robotics, Cole.
How are we on
uh,
the subscriber? How are we on the viewer list right now? How many people are watching us right now?
3. It's actually going
Ah,
up. Since you've been on. We will
You see?
attribute that 1,000% to you being.
You see what I'm saying? 50% higher since I started to gauge your audience. Since your audience, all of a sudden we went from 2 to 3, and you know, and you know what? You know, it would have been 4 if I was still logged on through my YouTube, but I didn't. I had to cut it off so you don't hear the voice in the back. Hey, this guy gets drunk all the time. He's a little troublemaker. Anyway, but shut up, man. Stop. Anyway, whatever. Hi, Cole. I always got issues with the Kool-Aid man. He's constantly causing all these problems and everything like that. But that being said, what I was trying to say before I lost track of my thought is Six Face Sid, my friend, we're going to be doing crazy YouTube videos when we're 80, and they're going to be going onto YouTube, and they're going to say, who are these old bastards? Who's that guy with the wrinkly hands, and who's that guy with the big gray old beard? And, you know, that's what's going to be happening. So you're going to have a good attitude, and we're going to keep moving along, and that's it. You know, that's it. Those are my prayers and wishes to you, so we could grow old and miserable together. How's that sound? Is that a really good prayer for
I
you?
don't plan on growing miserable. I'm doing just fine.
Yeah. That's,
No.
I've cut all that garbage out of my life, man. I stress free and I enjoy my days. If something starts bringing me stress, I stop doing it, which is probably why I dropped YouTube for a while, because I was like, I'll just keep up with stuff.
My stress and my misery is what fuels me. If I don't have that, then I'm bored. I need to have something to fuel me.
You got to be careful, man. That damn near killed me. I know it was stress that made the cancer so much worse than it should have been.
You know what it is? I had a lot of stress this past year. A lot of stress. I went through a lot of bullshit on a personal different level. I'm being really honest. This is not a shtick, and I'm not joking around or anything like that. I went through a lot of freaking stuff there. I went through family, health, personal life, divorce, etc., etc. I had a lot. My kids, you know, some one day they hate me, some one day they love me. All kinds of shit that I'm dealing with. And you know what? I said to myself, you know what? Embrace the misery. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. And you know what? It's gonna just make me stronger. And that's it. You know, your life wants to kick me in the nuts. You know what? I got 2 kicks for life right back in the nuts. And I'm gonna keep coming and trucking along, and I'm gonna make myself as happy as humanly possible being in my misery. And that's how it's gonna work.
I don't think that's embracing misery, what you're describing, but I think it's more of what Sid's talking about cut out the
definitions.
like do what makes you do.
I plan on living forever despite my detractors. How's that?
There you go.
Just to piss them off.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, just
Look,
to piss
you
them
got
off.
such a pleasant smile and rosy cheeks. You know that, Brad? Did anybody tell you that?
It's hot in this room.
Look how red his cheeks are. If your beard was a little longer, you'd be like a nice jolly.
I feel like a rotisserie chicken. I've been under these lights for 2 hours now, so
good.
Like
so I'm gonna make you torture you so you can stay on for another 2 hours and you really cook. Let's see, Brad.
I think my internet's going out.
Oh no! You're not gonna pull that trick with me. How many viewers we have? How many viewers?
My phone is getting low on juice. I'll have to find a plug or something.
It's about dinner time, so it's
how
a good
many
time.
you eat? I don't eat.
Yeah.
I drink coffee.
I don't eat. I don't. It's Southpaw Brad stream, so I won't show you what I want to be doing instead.
Go ahead.
What do you got there, Sid? What? Do you,
Hey,
this. My fucking wife bought this. It is hilarious.
Oh, there you go. And you know what? I thought I was an R-rated channel. Look at this shit. What you got here?
You're welcome.
I know. Hey, now my face really is red.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize we were doing a boys review over here. So,
right?
Well,
so how many viewers have we got now, Brad? How many?
3.
People? Oh, there we go. Steady. They're holding tight. You know, 50% up from since you made your comment, and we got a steady flow. People, they don't drop on us. They hold on. These hold on.
It's maintained. And Sid, by the way, just the tip. No more than the tip.
Just the tip.
Yes, absolutely.
It also smokes too. Oh, I can't see it.
What do you think? Should I do a Dracula stream tonight or not? Should like a vampire midnight stream or be on good behavior tonight?
Do a late stream?
Does
Yeah,
it make you happy?
I might be
Does it
around.
make you happy?
Does it make you
Do it. Like,
Nothing
do
makes
it if
me
it
happy.
makes you happy.
Hey,
No,
just don't do it. Just it.
Sorry about that, brother John.
Whoops.
We got another viewer. See. Yeah, we got more. Are we up to 4 now? Are we up to 4 viewers?
No, it's dipped to 1.
We did.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
that's
there
the
goes-
cancer patient smoking his.
See,
You
that
know,
had nothing to do with me. That had to do all with
My
Sid's
painkillers.
dildo. You know, that's basically what it came down to. Sid's dildo.
It's got a
here,
lot
this
more.
is this one's for your child. How's this?
Hey, there you go. Look at that.
This is crazy. We saw this the other day. My wife was like, "I gotta have that."
11 counting to 11.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do my nominations for the CBC Awards, and
Well,
I
you
only
better,
wanted.
because it ends next week.
Yeah, I know that. So, like, I know I have to do it sooner or later. Maybe I'll do it tonight. I want to do it on a live stream just to piss people off live, and then have Google burn me off at the end after I make my choices. But I think I might do that. I don't know what time. Whatever time I feel like doing it, or if I don't feel like doing it, we'll see. I don't know. But
Which one are you nominating me for?
you,
Yeah.
you know, for most dildos on a channel, you know, that's my, that's
Of a comic book creator channel, I'm certain I have that distinction.
absolutely. Well, we're talking about the community awards. We're not talking about the dildo channels. We're talking about we're talking about the comic community awards, and I believe you might have the bluest and most dildos on screen.
I think,
Possibly.
I
Black
don't
and
know.
blue
That that's can we write that category in by chance? Maybe
See,
is
I
there a
already-
write-in vote?
I
That's,
already approached Brian about adding new categories, and he's yesing me to death. He's like, yes.
What would be funny is to have a write-in and write that in, and have when Brian goes to see, oh, we got another nomination, and he goes to see the new write-in category.
Bluest dildo.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's basically what it's going to come down to. I already told
I
him
toked
that.
it. I'll toke it. I
And
won't do it on your screen.
When I was on this 411, I kind of warned him. It wasn't a threat. It was a warning. Soon after my nominations, I will be actually putting out the Journey Awards. And all these awards that I am going to put out there are going to be all hand selected and chosen by me. Nobody else. There's not going to be a vote. There's not going to be anybody telling me, oh, I think you should vote. No. None of that. I'm going to be judge, executioner, and jury of the awards themselves. And they're going to be awards that I think need to be given out in the community. And you're going
you
to like
should
them.
do an intro video for those awards and play "Don't Stop Believing" since it's the Journey Awards.
No, well, yeah, okay, you got me with that Tundra, the double,
Where are you going to put all your trophies you give yourself?
No.
That's the real
Nobody's going to get a trophy. They're going to get a piece of paper, and the paper is going to say you won the most obnoxious character award, and you're going to get that. And then I'm going to give them I'm going to take a big bowl of nothing and a hot cup of steam, and that's what I'm going to deliver to them, and that's what they're going to get. They're going to get the
We should get
honor. They're going to get the
you should
honor.
make
They're not gonna
little,
get any trophy. You don't need a
stickers
trophy.
for them to say canceled by Comic Journey
No,
Oh.
I might be
or
canceling,
canceled by
some-
YouTube.
but those people are not going to get a paper. They might just get the censor stamp, and they're going to get canceled. But award. What kind of freaking guy out there needs an actual little award to make them feel better about them? No. You can get a nice piece
You
of
would
paper.
take it in a heartbeat.
You're going to
Yeah.
take. No,
You would take if Brian
yeah.
sent you something, you'd take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, you know what? How about I win one and you see how my reactions
You're
go?
using reverse psychology right now. I
I'm
want to
gonna
win
tell-
this so bad. I'm
listen,
going to.
I know-
Like I don't.
I know for a fact that I'm a loser in that mustache hair battle. I know that I'm a loser in that one. I can't even compete with Cole's fluffy mustache. You know, look at. Did you ever see how fluffy his mustache is? He's like he gives it like a perm every day. I can't compete with that. But what I can compete with is an award ceremony, and I can make my own. And I'm gonna make sure that everybody that deserves something is going to be accredited for it, and everybody that doesn't deserve to be something will be shunned on the same award ceremony. So
Shun the non-believers.
everybody's going to get there.
Don't give Cole too hard of a time. I mean, he's one of those DeBears guys, so he's got to keep a good solid mustache in case.
Hey, I'm not giving Cole any.
That comes back.
I'm not giving Cole a hard time whatsoever. I think if there was purely a mustache award, he'd be my vote. He'd be my vote. I think Tylox.
I think Tylox had it when he had the handlebar.
Well,
the Hulk Hogan mustache.
Tylox, he has a mullet too. That's the problem. He has a 2-in-1. Do you understand?
And he shaves lines in the side of his head.
He's got a 2-in-1.
When Tylox did you see his Herf haircut? He had lines shaved in the side. He was ready. I mean, he was going into battle.
Yeah, he's a different critter altogether with that hairdo.
He looked like a redneck Braveheart. He
looked like battle. All my friends' dads in high school. I like it. I mean, I think it looks good on him.
I love it. I had
that's his thing.
I don't think a lot of people can pull it off, but he pulls it off real well. So,
hey, that's how it goes.
A lot of mileage off that mullet.
That's how it goes. You gotta own it, and he owns it. He definitely owns that look. So it's hard. Honestly, I'll give you a sneak peek when I'm nominated.
If you see, you ought to see his family portrait at Christmas. They all have the same hairstyle. His mom, his dad, his brothers, his sisters, his cousins.
Here, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of.
Hey, Journey, I got to tell you something, man. I didn't think I would ever miss traffic in New York until a couple of days ago here in Seattle. Some dude stopped in the road, blocking traffic to get into the Costco gas. So I blew my horn, and there's a car between me and him. Nobody blows their horns in Seattle. Like you can't use your horn. It's
we don't do that. We don't do that.
Yeah, no, yeah. If you use your horn, you're the biggest giant asshole on the planet. Seriously. So I blow my horn. The guy moves. The guy behind him pulls up and does the same thing as blocking traffic. Now there's a line all the way back to the road behind me. And I lay on my horn again. And then he goes in and I pull into a pump. This dude gets out of his car, walks over to my pump and starts screaming at me why I blew my horn at him. Why do you blow your horn at me? This little Asian dude. I'm like, dude, you don't know who the fuck I am. You just gonna walk up on me and start talking some shit.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
You need to go back to your pump.
Yeah, that wouldn't fly in New York.
No.
First of all, as you're blowing the horn, you get some commentary coming back at you simultaneously.
Well, it happens so much in New York, it's not even offensive anymore.
I had a jackass. It's right on the LIE.
It's like the hello, hi, how are you?
I had a jackass today on the way home, right from the LIE. Long Island Expressway for people that are not from New York. Right in the middle of the freaking LIE, right in between where you're going from Bayside to Flushing, this jackass, they got into accident, they rear-ended each other, whatever the hell. I don't know how you rear-end driving, but they rear-ended each other. So what did they do? Instead of pulling over to the side and deciding, hey, let's go exchange numbers and call the police, whatever. No. We're going to stop right in the middle lane. And we're going to sit there and we're going to get out and we're going to start yelling at each other right in the middle lane. And we're going to force everybody to have a spectacle and watch you. And that's what we're going to do. That's the New York way to do it. You know?
Yeah, it is.
I just wish,
I had a guy I used to work with who he got so mad when people don't use their blinkers around here. Right. So he got so mad. Somebody was turning in and they were slowing down. He's like, what the heck's going on? And they turned in. So he goes up and turns in and pulled up beside him and rolled his window down. And he's like, hey, I just want to let you know your blinker's broken. And I said, man, you can't do that now. Like that'll get you shot now. But back then, hey, I just wanted to pull over and let you know your blinker's broken.
We have signal lights for a reason. And people need to go tick, 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 tick. You know, I know it's a little annoying when you tick, 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 tick. Use them. Use them. You know why you use them? Because you avoid having an accident of somebody in the next lane next to you, not knowing that you're going to turn in and crashing. And by the way,
about 70% of the people in New York don't use them, I'd say.
No, actually, they're not as bad as other states. I'll be honest with you.
That. I mean, a friend of mine lives in Long Island. He's from Tennessee, and he stopped using them. he went full native on Long Island years ago. But yeah, he says, I don't use my blinkers. I just warns people I want to get over. And then, well, I mean, you know, you put your blinker on in New York, and usually people will speed up to try to, you know, like keep you from getting over. So, you know,
when you rear end another car doing that,
I wonder how far into Long Island
it becomes your fault, you know.
Hebrews probably for going further east, where you know the boondocks, the hillbillies that are all the way at the end of Long Island. Maybe he's living there, where everybody's like, "Hey, relax, guy."
Oh no, he's like he's at he's near the K line at the end of the K line.
End of the K line. What the hell is the K line?
The whatever the underground is, the rail line, and the K does not the K line go out to Long Island?
No more. Long Island Railroad. That's it. That's all that goes out to the island. So he probably takes the.
No. I mean the subway. I'm talking about the subway. So Long Island, you have the subway out. The K. I thought it was the K line that was the.
No, what happens? You go to Jamaica, and from Jamaica you get into the subways from there if you want, or you take it all the way to Penn. So that's basically what you're looking at, and you can have a switch over in New Hyde Park as well. But those are basically the borders. But you know, you don't have a subway that's going straight into the island. But the one wish I had for those people that were into the accident in the middle of LA today was for it to rain, and it didn't rain. It didn't rain. I kept looking up to the skies, and I was waiting for the clouds to just like open up and pour on these bastards for making us wait for an hour in the traffic. Nothing. I never get my wishes. That's the problem. You know, I always wish for things, and nothing ever happens. A kid just asked me, "What am I watching? What are you watching?" This guy asks the same question over and over again. You know, what are you watching, brother John?
I wonder. I was just rereading that, and I was like, I wonder if he hopefully he wasn't watching that on his TV, and hopefully he was on his laptop or his iPad instead of his TV.
They didn't see anything. I mean, you know, just the bong itself.
Kids, brother John.
All it was is a prop appendage. That's all it was. It's a natural part of the body, except it's blue, and it's a prop. It's a prop. It's for educational reasons. It's they use stuff like that in sex ed now, don't they? They look. This how
they don't teach sex ed anymore. I don't think they'll be teaching school anymore in several states. I'm just saying.
That's not a thing anymore. Sex ed's not a thing.
Some places, no. Yeah, seriously. You can't. Yeah.
I hope not. That actually be really good because my kids are becoming teenagers. I hope that's the case, but I don't think that.
I think you're fine. You're fine where you're at. I'm tired.
We're progressive
the
here.
Deep South. Yeah, you're. You live in the Northeast. You're fine.
We're enlightened here in New York. We're progressive. We do everything the right way, and everybody else in the world is morons. That's because
I don't think that's what progressives say at all. I'm very progressive, and it's pretty much listen and learn. I've always known you could learn something from everybody you meet.
Well, I'll tell you something. Our definition of progressive has really, really changed. If you take Webster's dictionary, what progressive is, it's not what it's turned over here. Same thing of what liberal is. Let's really bash your ratings by talking politics, and tell you how.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
And wonderful New York is.
I didn't know you could have negative viewers. How do I have negative? I've got negative viewers.
Are we -3?
Yeah. Are you? Yeah. Let's talk. Hey, what other offensive? Could you talk about some
religion-related
issues?
Let's go with religion.
Yeah. Let's talk about something that can be flipped.
Let's start with money. Let's start with money.
Well, you successfully kept me about 45 minutes after we were planning on stopping, so it feels like a good stopping point.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So are you CJ? What you got? Are you doing a stream tonight? What do you have going on?
You know what? I will. The content of that
Wow.
stream is to be determined. I'm not sure, but it's just like whenever I do anything live, we do live. I'll have Bill O'Reilly, on, and he'll tell you about the live, and we'll see. I don't know. It's whatever goes through my mind at that moment.
Now, what's funny is I'm actually subscribed to another channel that of yours, and it's considerably different.
Oh, you discovered my other channel?
Yeah,
Okay.
my lips are sealed.
Yeah. Very,
But-
very different.
Yes,
I think you just
in fact,
scared him.
I know, man. I've never seen the cat got his tongue on that one, didn't it?
Yeah.
If I need him to, hey, folks, I'm posting the link to CJ's other channel here.
Hey, eventually it'll come out. I'd rather
It
do it
will,
on my terms
eventually.
than not.
I just did it because you and I are in the same field.
Yeah.
It made sense to in fact, I didn't like it with this channel. I liked it with my professional channel. So
I appreciate
or
that.
I call
maybe,
it professional, semi-professional, semi-pro.
I have a tendency of spewing a little less nonsense on that channel.
Well,
Just
that's
a
why
little
you
bit.
got to vent doing your on the comic book thing, because you're throttled too much. They just hold you back too much on.
Well, the
on
thing
other
is,
one.
this actual channel is my therapy.
Right.
This
could
is
see
my
that.
therapy. This is where I just get to say whatever the hell I want whenever I
It's
feel
definitely
like it.
cheaper than healthcare, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another secret. My family doesn't even know I do this channel. That's the funny thing. They don't even
Oh.
know I do this as a gag for myself.
Well, if they stumble upon that and see a blue dildo bong, you're really gonna be they're really gonna question your sanity at that point. So
That's at this point it doesn't matter. They canceled me already from being part of the family. So we'll see. We'll see how the future holds for that. But I'm keeping that purposely for family reasons. And at the same time, I've said this before. I'm in the middle of actually finishing up a private comic from beginning to end. I'm drawing it. I'm writing it.
Right on.
is
the
it
only thing
Marvel? Is it Marvel meets DC?
No. I don't have the rights to that, and I don't want to get I'm scared of Marvel. I don't mess with Marvel with copyrights. Everybody else is off limits.
So
But,
when do you anticipate the comic being completed?
I'm hoping by the end of 2022 to be complete. Sketched, paneled. I got all the storyboards, and then I got all the writing done already. It's just putting it in the right way. And I already looked at platforms where I could self-publish and print it out myself. So when that is done, then I will do a true reveal of who I am and that kind of thing, so people can actually know it's not a blue-faced weird character that's drawing this thing. It's a promise I made to my kids, actually, believe it or not, that I'm going to finish it. They don't know that I continue doing this. Once it's done, then I'm gonna let them know as well. My daughter found a whole bunch of my old sketches and stuff like that when I was in my moving process, and she got a little sentimental seeing that I drew stuff and I had storyboards and that kind of thing from when I was teenager, early 20s. And it was a project I just left on the back burner. She basically chose, she's like,
Hey, Sheena.
and that's basically it. And that probably scared away the rest of your viewers, but basically that stupid sob story. But
No, that was cool, man.
that's
That was
basically
cool.
the story.
That was the most
congratulations.
vulnerable you've been. Yeah,
Hey, I look
the most
forward to reading
vulnerable
it.
You've been all evening. So that's
Be careful what you
that's
wish
cool.
for. Be careful.
Oh, am I in it?
Be careful what you wish for.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
you know what? I think it's going to have a little bit of everything. It's got that almost anthology type of feel to it. There's going to be 4 different stories that are part of it. Each story is 8 to 10 pages. It's going to be one of these books that are 32 to
Free energy. What's
40
up,
pages
buddy?
total. And whatever
Hashtag
comes
Doom
out of
Trade.
it comes out of it. People like it, great. I'll make another one. If they don't like it, I did it. It's out of my system. And that's it.
That's
Well,
great.
you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. There's more than one. Mass appeal is only one reason to produce a comic. There's a lot of them that don't go, that are produced for different reasons. I had a guy I bought comics from one time that lived in the UK, and he would always send me, like, I bought from him a couple of times, and he'd always send me an extra book. And one of the books he sent me is the Fantastic Four, and I've never shown it on. I need to pull it out and show it sometime on, because it's probably the most unique Fantastic Four book I own. It's Fantastic Four and Warlock, and it's a complete story that he wrote, but he did 100 copies of this comic that he wrote and drew, and he created it to pitch to Marvel to do for the story. And so he was like, you're one of only 100 people to have, there's only 100 copies of this book out there, and a lot of the ones that he sent out were to people at Marvel. So
It's
I was
really
like,
awesome, actually.
yeah, that's pretty cool. But he did the whole thing.
I would love
And
for
he
you
used
to
that as a
actually
piece of-
do that on a video. Pull it out and show us it.
Hey-o.
Read the whole thing.
Now it's a party.
No, that would be pretty cool. Who's in here now?
We've got 4 people.
There
So,
you go. Double. Yeah,
that's,
I
cool
made my
little
promise.
indie pro. Sid,
No?
what you got going on? Anything coming up?
I don't have anything planned. I don't know what I want to do with the channel, really. Like I said, I did the top 10 thing because Taylor challenged me, and I needed to do the 100 subs, so I did that. I don't know. I've got any number of things, man. I'm always buying stuff and speculating. I just don't know what I want to do with the YouTube channel. I mean, I hit 100 subs, and I'm like, where do I want to go? I've thought about going back to and doing sales on Whatnot. I have a few people that have offered to, what is it? Now you need to be sponsored. There you go, to sponsor me. So you can apply to sell on Whatnot now, and they were originally you just applied and they were just giving people, but now they fast track you if you're sponsored by an existing seller that they know.
Right.
That's a great idea. You should do that and actually comment on people's crappy packaging while you're doing that, because that's actually my favorite part of your videos. Whenever you do it,
Oh man, man, I had some crappy packing. So the ones I showed you earlier, the Tomb of Draculas,
Yeah.
the hip hop. Now hip hop comics is just an auction. It's kind of like Heritage, but it's not centralized. So like me and you might have books in the same lot. So like they have a Monday night lot ending, and me and you both might have 100 books each in it, right? And then you would package yours up and send them. I would package mine up and send them. And the guy who packaged those had them in a vanilla envelope, nothing else, just loose in the vanilla envelope with a piece of cardboard.
Jeez.
Amazingly, they made it through.
No bags and boards on the comics. Just
No, we're bagged and boarded. They were bagged and boarded, but they're loose board. Yeah,
you're fortunate enough to get bags and boards.
Yeah,
in a Ziploc. I got. Have you seen my Ziploc bags that I got?
I saw those. I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had that too. I had some girl. I bought some stuff off of a website from a girl in Canada who had got her uncle's collection. He had died, and she was trying to sell it off. He'd left it to her, and I was like, I knew she was new, and I told her, I'm like, make sure you pack them tightly, right, and so they can't shift. So she took the loose comics and put like paper towels between them and like wrapped them in grocery bags tightly so they didn't move, and then like stuck them in a box with packing peanuts and sent them to me. And I was like, what? And
I've got them in rolls, like tubes. I've gotten them in tissue boxes, like Kleenex. I've gotten them in cereal boxes that quite often, actually, believe it or not, cereal boxes. I've gotten them plenty of times. But hey, that story and those stories are for another day on another stream. See, we got another guy, Tim. We got another guy.
See, they want his unboxing.
Yeah, Tim, we're on the tail end of it, man. We were just wrapping up. Do me a favor and go back and check the rewind on it. I appreciate.
Tim, did you karate chop the like button?
It's I'm assuming most everybody's kicked the like button in the.
Come on, say it. You know, you say it. Come on.
Is that how you put it?
Yeah, kick it right in the nuts, or you punch it in the
Kick
nuts.
like-
You can
punch
do
the
either
like
one.
button right in the nuts. Yeah, there we go.
Either way, it works out perfectly. Brad, are you ever thinking about going on Whatnot as a seller?
No, I don't feel like I have enough appealing stuff.
See, I got
With
a lot
all-
of
with the-
obscure
with
shit
the
that
te-
I'm thinking about going on.
Yeah,
to.
I mean, I've just got like weird. I don't think I have anything. I mean, part of it is I've only been back collecting again for a year and a half, so I don't. My old stuff's too sentimental, and so most everything's like newer things. Actually, my goal. I was thinking about this earlier. Good to see you, Trev. Thanks for coming by, man. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. Yeah, my old stuff's too sentimental. It's stuff that I traded kids for in grade school, and I still got a lot of the books that I bought back in the day. But my goal is to leverage the new stuff to buy the stuff I really want, some older stuff. So
then you got to sell it at some point.
exactly, that's the key. So
I'm
yeah, I haven't. Yeah, so at some point I will.
I'm considering as part of my comic journey to actually sell like a day or two on Whatnot. I don't know if like you're allowed to do that or if I could join up with somebody that has a channel already, but I want to go through that whole experience as well and like see how it is to actually live sell like that and watch your comics go for $1 and freak out. I want to see that whole experience. And maybe at the same time have some fun selling some really weird, obscure crap that people have never seen before in their lives that I just have no use for anymore.
I saw a really effective YouTube. Roscoe was selling some stuff on YouTube last night on a channel, and they had a really good format and really, moved along well. They had four people on there at a time and just took turns, kind of round robin style.
I've done that.
Yeah,
I've done that a couple of times. That was fun. I did that. That was fun.
So just
But it's
partner
different
with somebody and do that. I mean, that's the one. The least fees are involved in just doing a long stream, and you can even have some entertainment, like the 7th inning stretch of comic auctions or something, and figure out.
Well, here's something for Comic Journey. You can now. I don't know. I guess RIA hasn't figured out about Whatnot, so they're not pulling streams for copyright violations. Nobody's getting hit for and getting dinged for copyright. So people are playing whatever music they want in the background.
Yeah, I do realize that and Whatnot. They're doing that all the time, playing all.
It'll as soon as RIA figures it out that they're not getting their money from Whatnot, they're going to go after Whatnot, and Whatnot will go after the streamers.
I'm really, really confident. I think the thing that stops them is that it's live and there's no recording hovering anywhere.
Right.
That might be the little loophole that they have because they're streaming it live, but there's no actual way to be able to play it back, and they're not monetizing off of it. They're just playing like all kinds of crazy crap.
Yeah, some background music, but
that might be it. They might have to go after the individual sellers then, not be able to, because if they can hit Whatnot, they would do it. But if they have to go after individual streamers, then that's not going to be cost effective for them.
Logistic nightmare for them. It probably is. But I want to do it just for the experience. I don't think I'll sell a lot of crap.
It's interesting.
If I sell a short box or so, I'll be happy on it just for the hell of it and unload some stuff.
We'll just do an Instagram sale, man. Whatnot is basically Instagram, but with a timer. Because all my Instagram sales were just like the Whatnot sales are.
I don't like the whole Instagram platform for myself. I don't like having to deal with Venmo and PayPal and all.
Well, you're gonna have to, I mean, there is a way to.
I'd rather just put it on eBay and take your
fees, bring me cash. Send me a check. Send a check to this post office box. You could be the first guy to only take checks for your sales.
Yeah. And I have to wait until it doesn't bounce before I send.
I got some old savings bonds. Let me buy some books off of you.
1 month
money order. I only want money orders and bank checks. That's it.
I order something from you that crashes in price next week, and I cancel the check.
Right.
And then I got to
Exactly.
sue them for fraud, sending fraudulent checks. That kind of. No, but all in all honesty,
Well,
I
yeah,
just-
you know that fraud checks, man. Interstate stuff is if it's under $1,000, if it's under $10,000 and it's an interstate transaction, you can pretty much forget it.
no, there you go. That's why I
But
don't
just so
do
you
it.
know, I've had a friend got ripped off for like $9,900 trying to buy a car out of state, and he sent cash to them, and it ended up being wire fraud. But the company that was doing it, it's in a state where in a county where the DA, I guess, is involved, and they don't prosecute them. They don't do anything. It has to be the local government to come after them when it's under $10,000 because it doesn't become a federal crime until it hits $10,000. If you do a $10,000 wire transaction fraud,
These
it's
freaking loopholes.
it's not. Yeah, you get the FBI knocking on your door. But if
That's
it's
why-
under,
That's why I prefer the established platforms. I know everybody hates eBay. I don't like paying fees either. Nobody likes paying fees, but at least it's somewhat structured, and they're handling payment for me and getting it back, and then at least I have that component part of it done.
Well, they're getting ready to do that. I mean, they're doing their own live.
No.
They're getting ready to do that. Basically, that same. They saw an opportunity there. So, what's better than what's the next best thing to being first at something is to mimic what's working and do your own version of it. So maybe they're hoping that
bigger.
that being bigger and they're late to the party, but at least they've got the platform where people might want to it might be appealing to do exactly what you're saying, CJ. Just have have them handle everything. So
and I'll tell you something, even though it's aggravating and stuff like that, and they're very buyer centric, they protect the buyers and they hate the sellers. I don't know why they do that, but there are at least some protection
people
for the
selling.
sellers.
They had a mass exodus of sellers about 8 years ago. A friend of mine has been a massive eBay seller since like day one. And about 8 years ago, they had a massive exodus because they had gotten to where they would just find in favor of buyers all the time, and sellers left the platform in droves. And they had to change. They had to change it up to keep sellers.
I don't blame them. And if I was a regular seller, I would do the same thing. I would. Like, why are you going to deal with that crap? But for a guy like me, that's like a casual seller. Like occasionally I get a bunch of stuff like I really don't want this, or I got duplicates or whatever the case is, and I'm just getting rid of it. So it's just like to clear out room and maybe make some of my money back. Is it really worth it to go on a big platform if you only have like a short box of comics to get rid of? I don't know if it's worth it. That's the way I look at it.
It depends because you're probably if that's how many
you
you're probably selling lots or something, aren't you? I mean, you're not.
Yeah, I put them in lots. I put singles. It all depends. Like I like to put like little collections for people and put them for $5, $10, $20. If you like it, like a mini series or something like that, or like a longer series or a stretch, take it.
Well, you don't have to do live stuff on Instagram. You can just post. You can just post pictures on your Instagram account and say, "I want whatever for it," and eventually somebody buys it and you ship it off. Of course, you still have to do the Venmo where you just tell them, "Here's my PayPal," and they send it directly to your PayPal instead of going.
I might try to do that, but I just don't want to deal with having to get a 1090. Like when you're doing like that for PayPal.
You should. I mean,
and figure out how much everybody's paying at least through.
That's why people are doing it on Instagram. Do you think all these guys doing Instagram sales and YouTube sales are keeping track of everything they're selling and reporting to the IRS? I mean, that's why they're not selling it on eBay, which does that for you.
Do like a low-level mystery box. Do like a themed mystery box or something. Like group that short box into themes, and then sell like, hey, here's a $25 mystery box. Where you kind of set the, if I spend $100 on a mystery box, I'm going to expect something stellar, but you could set it up where it's slightly better than what they might, it's worth more. I think to be successful, it has to be worth more than what they're paying.
See, if I put a mystery box together, it has to be a WTF box, not slightly better. It has to be slightly worse than anything you ever got. It has to be stuff like when you're opening up that box, you say, what is this? Like, what the hell is this? Not because it's just shitty comic. Some of them might be shitty, but it's just something that you looked at it and said, like, what the hell? like
This is random.
yeah, like just like really bizarre crap.
Elf
That's in
Quest
there.
number 4 with the cover ripped off.
Maybe one per box will go in there of a really mangled copy. Like, let's see how really mangled we could get a comic. Because I have some of those that are reader copies. They're fun to read.
You got any with like cereal bowl rings on them or anything?
Oh, you have no idea how bad. Like, I'm not a grade snob. Like, I have a lot of copies, a lot of stuff in my collection that's not, let's say less than perfect. But you know what? I don't give a crap because it's part of my collection and I'm reading it, and that's all I need it there for. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that like they really, really want a good key comic, but they're not going to pay $5 gazillion for it. But you know what? For like a really poor copy of it that's complete, they'll pay $20-$30 for it to have it, or
Sure,
whatever, that's a lot of that is part of my collection. The stuff that you see me getting in pristine and slab format, some of them are only for some of them, believe it or not, as crazy as this sound, is a little bit of speculation, a little bit. But other ones, I like them slabbed, especially the higher grade ones, because I need to have them appraised somehow. So in case I die and croak tomorrow, my kids that will take whatever they get from me will actually know what they have, and not like have some LCS guy screw them over. At least they'll know what the grade is.
That's why I got all mine. I mean, I have, well, the majority of my collection is in comicspriceguide.com. I don't know if you guys use.
I've seen
use
that
them.
before. Yeah,
It's of all of the price guides online, it's my favorite. Not because the grades or the prices are as accurate, but it's the most extensive database. So they have more comics listed than Go Collect and Cover Price put together. Like, the guys have been building the database for that one for 22 years now. I think that launched in 2000. So they were the first online comic price guide. And again, the listings are just phenomenal. If I want to know something about a book, I go there first.
The other thing, let me see that finger again. Scroll that finger. Look at that sexy
that's Coinbase telling me everything's going down in value again.
Yeah, well, I got destroyed on that. But I'm not even going to start on that. But I will say this: with the other thing about slabbing the comics and having them graded, it's easier to insure them. If you got
that's very true. Yeah,
it's a lot easier to prove that you have them in this condition, and there's no question about it. Yeah. They might nickel and dime you at the end what the fair market value of that grade is, but they can't nickel and dime you on the actual grade itself. So
I've gone from in my adult life. So when grading first happened and comic grading was happening, I was dead set against it. I thought
I hate it.
This was the dumbest thing ever. And yeah, and 2012 when it was getting, when I was back into it again, I think I bought a couple of slabs, but I just stayed away from them. Of course, I understand grading too. I'm very, very proficient at grading myself. So even if I send something in, I'm usually pretty close to what I've guessed it was. So that being said, now I've come like a different way. Now I'm like, if it's more than like $500, I want to get a slab. Like if the value of it's more than $500, I think it should be in a slab now.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm definitely with you. I'm definitely with you. And at the same time, with the cheaper books that I sometimes I get them so cheap already slabbed, I'll buy them for the reason that I know I could put it on eBay and double my money just on selling them, even with the fees. So sometimes I get them like that. I put them on there, and then I supplement the cost of how much it's going to cost me to send them graded, to get them graded. I haven't done a full CGC package yet. That's going to be something that's going to come down the line. It's going to be interesting.
In my top, I'll show you guys this. So we're talking about that.
Books.
So in my top 10, this is one of them.
There you go.
I got this book raw.
That's a good book to have.
I bought that off of eBay the day Cosmic Wonder dropped that it was being optioned, and I paid $30 for that, a number 2, a number 4, and a 5, all in one lot together, and they all look as good as that one did, and that one came out to 9.8.
That's a killer. That's a killer buy.
Right? That was some luck. That's what I'm telling you. I'm the luckiest unlucky fucker you're ever going to meet.
That's a lot. Now, do you feel what's the value of that now? $1,000, $2,000 in '98?
It's down actually right now. It's that one right now I think is only going for like $600, $700. I think it's come down quite a bit.
I've seen one sell for that little. Have they?
Yeah, I think recently, in the last few months, those have come down.
Because honestly,
no, that wasn't. Maybe
$500
that was at that. Maybe that one was like 900. Yes, because it was the Department of Truth that had crashed. Sorry, the Department of Truth number one, the 1 in 100, is the one the price had come way down on.
Yeah, that one crashed a lot, but
yeah,
Something to Kill a Jew is still the $1,000 book, more or less. You know that if somebody gave you $1,500 for it right now, would you sell it?
Me? No.
No,
I don't think so. Not right now. I don't know.
$1,501. Would you sell it?
No. Are we talking about? I mean,
not for me.
If somebody had cash in their hand and they're like, "Hey, I'll give you this stack of money for that," maybe, but theoretically, hypothetically, probably not. I mean, if somebody offered me like $2,000 for it right now, I'd be like, "Here you go. Here, give me the money."
So you do have your price because
because I just go buy another one. Like
exactly, because that's the kind of book that in my mind, if somebody gives me ridiculous money for today, well, the way this market is going, yeah, dude, no problem. I'll find it again. No problem. That's
well, I mean, I'm probably going to sell it anyway. To tell you the truth, I think that'll probably be one of the big ones I sell when I get back started. Because I bought the hardcovers, the hardcover edition they did, the limited edition one. And when I bought that, I was like, I'm just going to sell my run, my 1 through 5, and keep this. You guys remember
those later prints are the ones that are going to crash big time, though.
Yeah, that's nice.
That is nice book. That's a nice case, nice book. But those I feel that are going to crash down the line. The later printings, the 7th, 8th printing, all that stuff, the foil.
Oh yeah.
And I have a few of those. I don't have the first printing. I don't have anything beyond that. But
they're still doing so many. There's so many covers for. And what number? They're in the 20s now. What number are they on with 27 or something?
Something that's killing the children.
Yeah.
That book had the potential of gaining.
They're still doing like
24. I think 24 or 25 was 24 was last week. Yeah.
That book had the potential of becoming Walking Dead status as far as value is concerned.
And it's already. I mean, people are already paying it,
and they're killing it.
Yeah.
Leave it alone for a little bit. We don't need extra printing, so we don't need all.
Well,
that
I mean, and nobody said anything about the series. It was speculated it was coming. I guess Netflix bought the options, but there hasn't been. I mean, it's been 2 years since it was optioned, and there hasn't even been. They're not even talking about a script writer. You haven't even heard of an executive team brought together
for their bets with these. Yeah. They want to get. Yeah. They want the ownership in case. Well, they more so want to have it so nobody else can get it.
Everybody watched Disney buy up Marvel, and there goes a huge chunk of the superhero market IP rights right there, gone into the black hole that is Disney. Nobody will ever. Disney is the only people that produce that from now until whenever we decide to break Disney up, right? And then HBO walked in, or what is it? Time Warner walked over and bought DC, and then all the small guys started getting scared. Like, we got to buy this IP up so we have, so we can make shows.
Well, what the thing is, the secret is, and the thing that a lot of people are being purposely ignorant to, or they're ignoring it, period, is the fact that things are being optioned. And this has happened for many, many years. People option a lot of these stories, a lot of these characters with the intention of possibly doing something, and it never comes to fruition.
Oh, yeah.
It happens all the time. They buy the option for the sole reason to tie it up that nobody else does it. And a lot of times they do it with no intention of actually making something. There's plenty of stuff like that out there. So we'll see. We'll see. Why don't they do this?
You guys like Wheel of Time? Do you guys like, do you Southpaw Brad, do you read fantasy or?
I not really. I'm not familiar at all with something. I wasn't collecting when that first came out.
Something is killing the children. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So that would have been well before my time, so I kind of felt like I was, I was
Wasn't
coming
too
in
long
late.
before. You said you've been back in a year and a half. It was the end of 2019. It came out.
Which book are
Yeah.
you talking about? Sid?
Something is killing the children. So
Oh.
I just started like March of last year. March of 2021 was when I started back.
I took a sidestep from comics. So we was talking about fantasy novels because I was going into a discussion about Robert Jordan and the Wheel of Time.
Oh, that's why I thought.
I have not read
I
that.
wasn't sure what. That's why I got confused.
Yeah.
I like horror and suspense books. As far as
I like
fantasy
suspense.
comes,
Yeah, some suspense.
I mean, as far as novels and that kind of thing, I like thrillers, little suspense. Things that build up like a story and that kind of thing. The
Lovecraft.
boring,
read more of that kind of stuff.
the boring stuff that you'd rather have your own image inside your head instead of having it drawn out for you.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Like you're like, what the hell's gonna happen next? I like that kind of stuff. So, but I don't get to read as much as I used to as a kid. No.
I don't read much. I do listen to audiobooks. I'm on and off getting into some audiobooks.
I've got a buddy that does that religiously, and instead of getting in the car and listening to music, he's streaming whatever he's listening to. So it's probably a more efficient way to
Consume your
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
I listen to audiobooks all the time. I listen to The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. I listen to Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
I've read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff. As much as people hate Trump, you know what? There's a lot of solid.
But come on now. Trump didn't write that fucking book. We all know that. He had a ghostwriter. I don't remember the guy's name.
Regardless, there's his name is attached to it, and there's some solid information in there. I'm just like anything. There's a lot of good elements to stuff. Napoleon Hill.
You can learn from everybody. I always say that. You can learn something from everybody you meet. You guys got to remember that.
CJ, I envision you listening to the audio of you reading the book to yourself, like you've recorded yourself reading the book and you listen to your own voice.
How did you
reading.
know that I do that?
You seem like the type, man. You like your own voice. You like
How did you know I do that?
I had a feeling, man. I had a feeling.
You got some kind of deal with the googly eyes in the sky?
It's the left-handedness. It's the left-handedness.
That's right.
Is there a bug under his ass or something? Like what's
We're all
going on
wizards.
over here? What's going on over here? How do you know? This is a little too creepy. You know a little too much about me. I don't.
Yeah,
I
Sid,
don't
did you say you were left-handed too? Were we talking?
I am.
So
I'm
we had
left-handed too.
the other person was Tylocks. Well,
Tylocks was left-handed.
All three of us in the panel were left-handed at one point.
There were 50% of the people watching you were too. That was when you had 8 people.
crazy,
it was like, well, I
man.
guess half of the people here are left-handed.
I'm ambidextrous. Does that count?
No, we've already had that.
Yeah, we had that one. So what hand do you comb your hair with? That's a big one. Or what hand do you brush your teeth with? Now, if you don't comb your hair, what hand do you use to brush your teeth?
Left.
Okay. Either or. Whatever's easy for me. Like
Whatever easier for you. Well, then you are truly ambidextrous if you brush your teeth with both hands.
Yeah.
That's
Either way.
Yeah.
I write
I'd
cleaner.
mess up my gums or something if I tried that.
Yeah, me too.
I write cleaner with my right hand, and the reason why I do that, when I used to go to school, my teachers used to, when they would see me write with my left hand, they would hit my hand with a ruler and say,
"Oh, you're a lefty that was forced to use your right too."
Yeah,
you're like my brother.
So
my brother has that same thing. Yeah.
That's the wrong way. And then when my father would say, I would work with my father, and when my father, when he would see me working with my left hand, he's like, "You're an idiot. You can't, the wrong way to do it is with the left hand. You got to do it with the right. The right is the right." All right. So then he would like force me to use my right hand for a lot of things. So
how old are you? So my brother's. I think my brother's.
I have terrible handwriting, by the way. That's why I have awful handwriting, because I never. I never.
When was the last time you had to write? I mean, I have awful handwriting because I've been typing for 25 years and I haven't had to write anything my entire adult life.
You want to hear something funny? When I'm sketching, I can't keep straight lines with either hand. That's why I'm a very rough. I have a very rough hand when it comes to sketching, and it just fits my style. But when I'm sketching with my right, and then when I'm shading with my left. Go figure. Go figure.
Truly
Interesting.
ambidextrous. And then he says ambi, but he started out lefty, and they forced him to
Yeah.
use his right, which is different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said,
yeah,
my brother was forced like that. My brother's like 71 this year, and he tells me they smacked his hand with a ruler when he used his left
what I'm
hand.
saying. They used to hit my hand with the left. Like, you moron. like, what the hell did I do?
Yeah, my mom was going to put me in. I'm 53. My mom was going to put me in preschool, and one of the questions there were two questions on the application where she was just like, "Nope, forget it." The first question was, "Is your child left-handed?" And the follow-up question was, "Do you want them to be?" And she was like, "Nope, I don't want anybody messing with my kid." Like, I'm thankful because I know a lot of people who were forced to switch.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what my father was.
It's weird.
My father was.
It's very
pro.
weird that we did that
He's
in our
really
culture, and
better.
it wasn't too long ago that was
Well,
acceptable
left
to
was
do
always
that to a child.
considered. Yeah, the left has always been considered like more evil and just from if you look at like history and religion and a lot of things consider the left to be bad. So I think that was just taken.
You know what? I always wondered why that. As a left-handed person, I wondered why that was when I was a child a lot. And if you think about history, all of the first writing styles were written from right to left, which would be natural for a lefty, someone who's left-handed to do. Because I don't know about you, I just had to do it today when I went to put the postage on a couple of packs I sent for the 100 sub giveaway. When I'm writing, I'll like rub over what I've just written and smear it on my hand and on the paper and everything. But all of the ancient writing styles were all written the other way, which would have been perfect for a left-handed person. So we kill all the left-handed people because they're the free-thinking ones who were writing and driving, what could we say, progress at that time, 2,000 years ago?
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they just deem us to be defective. That's the problem.
Just from
Yeah.
drawing. I mean, I would get
Wizards. We're all wizards. We learned how to write. We figured out how to write. We're all wizards.
drawing. I would have
yeah,
all up and down my my arm, my hand. That was
It's like the Spartans 25 years ago. Yeah, you're lefty. I'm gonna throw you off the mountain. That's it. When you're born, that's basically what happens. Hey, what are you gonna do?
I think we should go back to Sparta rules. When children turn 11, you toss them out of the house. They have to fend for themselves until they get through puberty, and 14, 15, when they get kind of sane again, then you can interact with them again.
Yeah, they might have to battle a wolf, and if you can survive that, then we'll let you back into the family. It was interesting doing the whole left-handed thing and talk. How many of those comic book creators were left-handed? And I was walking around with Marcus, and I would like every time we walked by, I was like, "Oh, he's left-handed," and he just got the biggest kick out of that because it was I guess when it's not unique, if you're right-handed, it just, you just expect everybody to be right-handed. And when you're left-handed,
it's like 90% of the population.
Right. So when if I see a waitress that's left-handed or, anybody, I have to ask if they think it's as big a deal as I think it is. 'Cause I think it's a big deal. So I like being left-handed, but, Mark Bagley's left-handed. Scotty Young's left-handed, and I've talked to both of them about it. And Mark Bagley was like, "Yeah, I think we're the most oppressed people in the world, having to live in a right-hander's world, and all the tools are geared for right-handed people, and scissors and notebooks, and any notebook I would flip it the other way where the spiral's on the opposite side just to write.
Just as
I hated just rubbing up and down that spiral bound notebook. But yeah, I've always liked being left-handed.
I'm confused with my hands. So hey, it is what it
is.
You're
you're a lefty who was forced to convert.
Yeah, I smoke with my left, but I drink my coffee with my right.
Well, that's a form of
so your oppression is in your right hand and your release is in your left hand. That's interesting.
Yeah.
the coffee and the cigarette.
Go figure. You ever see me when I'm trying to unbox something with a freaking scissor?
Oh,
A lot
I
of
found
people-
some scissors the other day. I got a clearance sale.
A lot of people think it's like a goof the way I hold the scissors with my hand, right or left. It's because I can't hold them the right way. That's the problem. I don't feel comfortable putting my fingers in them.
I found
There you
these. They were on sale. Like they were on a clearance at Fred Meyer. Nobody wanted them. I guess because they're not right-handed. But I was like, oh my god, it's like an ambidextrous one. It's not made for either, so it
Yeah,
fits
because they're
perfectly.
almost ergonomic. The handles are ergonomic.
Ergonomic
So
for right-handed. Yeah, but for right-handed people.
Yeah.
Go figure. How many viewers did we lose now?
80
Somehow
million.
we've got 4, including my boy JD.
JD,
Fins
what's going
up,
on?
brother.
We got a Raging Cajun on.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Big Dolphins fan.
My phone is dying, and we have been on for
It's- Yeah, we're going on 3 hours now. We were going to stop like an hour and a half.
I did my job. I doubled your rating since I came on. You know what else?
That's highly questionable.
You're
Highly
welcome.
questionable.
Charlie
You're
question.
welcome. You know,
I think we were higher before you came on, and then they went down and back up maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it's like having you on. CJ, having you on is like riding a roller coaster. That's what the viewership has been over the last hour and a half that you've kept us on. Past when we were going to stop. So,
See, it all comes down to when I'm talking, I let you talk. You know, that's basically what it comes down to.
I'm
you're
not
talking-
accustomed to that having you on my panel. I'm not accustomed to you doing
Nobody
that.
is. No, honestly, I interrupt. I'm rude. I know. I can't help myself. But I do bring ratings. Everywhere I go. People are like flock. What is this guy gonna say?
Now, whether we're still trying to
word of
determine
wisdom.
whether they're positive or negative ratings, but I think we'll be able to.
There's no such thing as negative ratings. There's
Brad
only
will
ratings.
give you the insights after a couple of weeks on the rewind.
Yeah, we'll do. Sid and I are going to take a look at the analytics on the
I'll tell you something. Put
the
my-
measurables and
put my
see.
little
We'll
blue
get back
face
to
on your
you.
thumbnail. I'll tell you what. You put my little blue face on that thumbnail. Or you write my name in the title. I guarantee you're gonna triple. You're gonna triple the amount of views you get from the other things.
I'm just going to put canceled and
There you go.
and
There
your
you go.
logo and see if I get more viewers.
Then you're
Yes,
gonna- you
the
put
title
Sid
should be
face in there.
canceled by CJ.
Right.
South Park Brad canceled by CJ.
There you
You
go.
put
Oh
Sid's
man,
face in there, you're gonna quadruple it. You
I go
put
from
Tyler's face, you're gonna multiply it again. I'm
yeah, I
telling
go
you.
130 subs to probably 800 in a weekend. So I
No.
appreciate your help, CJ. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
And
welcome.
Sid, it was an honor having you on, man. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. Thank you very
Good to
much.
see you guys. I'll see you guys around.
You are very, very
Yeah,
welcome. I
we'll
appreciate
do
you
it
having
again
me on.
sometime. Y'all
All
take
right,
care.
All right, we're off. All right, I'm out of here. I'm out of
Hey,
here. What?
Hey, I might keep if I'm up tonight. I might check you out, man. See if you're live later. So
All right, let me see. Let me see how I pull this off. If I'm actually going to pull this off, are we still live on the stream?
I
now,
am
or-
ending the broadcast. Hey, folks, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for hanging
right.
out with us, listening to us just rant and rave for 3
Did you
hours.
tell him
now,
to kick
but-
the thing in the nuts? Did you tell him
Yeah,
to kick maybe
yeah,
we just flick the like button in the nuts. Just flick
yeah,
it.
you say it so eloquently. If you could say it, that would be great.
Yeah, like just give a gentle flick to the nuts of the like button, and then if you're not subscribed, you give it a karate chop right in the middle of the subscribe button, and then you make sure you'll never miss one of Southpaw Brad's. Oh, you have to actually hit the notification, the little bell. You hit the little bell, and it'll go ding 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 ding, and now we got a channel. Now we got a video. It's Southpaw Brad. Yeah, and then you'll be happy. Do all that, and you'll never miss a subscribe. And you never know. I might pop on again one day. You'll be
never know.
pleasantly surprised. You'll be pleasantly surprised. And if you're good people, if you're nice, maybe this guy will come back too. I don't know. Oh yeah. Oh, shut up. I didn't tell you to talk. I just let you show your face. No, we're not doing any more of that. Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
And if you want to see more of CJ's multiple personality disorder, check him out tonight. He might be going live for you insomniacs out there. So make sure you check him out, and I'm sure he'll have some interesting stuff to talk about. But thank you guys for joining us.
Possible.
Yeah, anything is possible. So thanks for
Wait,
checking
I'm
us
outta here.
out. Y'all have a fantastic week, and we'll catch you next time. Take
I'm outta
care.
here. I'll turn this thing off.